Please don't spoil the movie by adding your own soundtrack.
Action. Talk.
Oh, I thought you... Hi, my name is Isis.
Oh my god. Hi, my name is Big Red. Are we like in sync?
Oh, that's so funny.
And
Bring it on, people.
Yes. And welcome back to Please
Don't Spoil the Movie.
A podcast brought to you by sisters who love each other.
Upon occasion.
Yeah. Hello, I feel like it's been a while. How are you?
I know, I feel like we haven't done this in... Have we done this since 2024? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Have we?
What's the last movie we did? Big Fat Liar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's still been a while.
Yes.
What's going on? What's up?
Not a bunch. I'm sleepy.
That's so interesting and entertaining.
This week is Mardi Gras.
It's carnival season, baby.
Carnival time. We get in the thick of it.
Let the good times roll.
Right now, I'm riding in not my first parade, but I'm riding in Muses this year.
Oh my goodness. How exciting is that?
Yes. In case you don't know.
Our garage is covered in glitter.
And shoes. Muses is an all-female riding crew. And the thing that we throw is shoes.
And she has contributed no help whatsoever to the making of these shoes.
I hope you're joking. Like, we've sat next to each other.
I ain't seen you in there.
Oh, wow. She's lying to your face, everyone.
I don't know. Every time your mama gets a fussing at me, I'll be like, well, Jordan ain't up in here.
But Jordan doesn't live here.
Oh, well.
But I made shoes. And the few times I was in there, I was hammering out those shoes. I did like 5 in one day. Each day. Yes. And I did a great job. And I'm going to go in there today. Am I doing that today? And wrap it up. We're just about finished.
Well, what else is going on?
That's all. That's all I'm really looking forward to. Mardi Gras. And then we'll get past that, and then we'll get back to regular life. I can't believe it came so soon.
I don't like it when it's this early. Give me the end of February, even early March.
I prefer end of February. I don't like it when it's late. I'm like, okay, let's wrap up this.
I don't mind it.
I hate when it's too late because I'm just like, okay.
This is the earliest it's been in a while.
Yeah, this is pretty early.
I do not like it at all.
I don't mind it. It's just, it did come fast.
So fast.
So fast.
Like, give me 2 more weeks until we actually get serious about this stuff. Like, it's the next week.
So crazy.
It's coming, it's gone.
Right.
I don't like it at all.
This would be perfect if I was still in taxes, but I'm not.
Why would that be?
You get it out the way before you get into the thick of taxes.
Oh, I see. Well,
not
that
in
applies
it.
here
Yeah, exactly.
anymore.
No, that applies here.
So,
but yeah, I'm excited. What's been up with you, kiddo?
Let's see. Oh,
Research, right?
I got my gallbladder removed.
Yay! How you been feeling?
I had an organ removed, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my gallbladder has been killing me from the inside, and I finally did something about it. I've been having problems with it for noticeably a year, but honestly, I think this dates back to like 2.5 years, and I just didn't know what the hell was going on. But finally got it removed on, I don't know, what was that? That was like the 17th of January. And,
how you feeling now? Do you still have,
Still having stomach pain, so what's all this about? Who knows?
Oh my God, don't tell your mother.
I've already told her, I'm like, my stomach still be hurting. But when I went to my post-op, and I told the doctor, I was like, hey, look, because I was thinking like, okay, did I have this whole thing removed and it was never my gallbladder to begin with? But she was like, no, the doctor who took it out, she was like, no, your gallbladder was crazy, like swollen. Okay. I was like, oh, well, it's good to know something was in fact wrong with my gallbladder.
Swollen. Okay, good.
But why I'm still having pains, I don't know. She was like, well, maybe it's because you just got it removed. But she was like, if you're still having problems, come back in 2 weeks. We'll see. I just think my insides suck.
Maybe it's like phantom pain?
What is phantom pain?
Like, I don't know, like twins get it. It's like if you hurt yourself, and then like I would complain about my like arm hurting, or like your body's still not used, or like your body's getting used to not feeling that pain. I don't know.
No. Either way, I'm. She needs to calm down.
Yeah.
Like, what else? I'm not having anything else removed.
Is it as painful as before, or just like every now and again?
It's not as painful, but it's like the same symptoms. Like when I had my gallbladder, it was like this like wax on, like wax off kind of pain. Like it almost felt like a roller coaster. Like I feel it like
every day,
stretch, and then like no, but when it was like, you know, acting up, the days when it would be acting up, that was like one of the pains that I feel. I still feel that
every now and again.
Yeah,
interesting.
And then the other day I was at work, and when it's really bad, like the day I went to the emergency room, it like radiated to my back, and like one day I was at work and my back was killing me, and I was like, I know this is my stomach. But I was like, why the fuck? I was like, why is my back on fire right now?
And she said it was crazy swollen.
Yeah. She said it was super inflamed. Like,
and they couldn't see that on any tests?
Girl, it's like I had gotten 20 different tests. It wasn't until I got an MRI that was able to detect it. I got an ultrasound. Well, the first ultrasound I ever got said it was my gallbladder was contracting, but she said that wasn't enough to give me surgery. I was like, sounds like enough to me. But the first ever ultrasound I got, it said something. Then I had gotten like a HIDA scan. Then I had gotten something else where I had to like drink this goop, 2 bottles of it, and it was supposed to, and then they were gonna watch it like go down through my stomach and see. That didn't do anything. I had gotten like 5, and I got like 2 other things, and then she was like, okay, we're gonna try an MRI, and then after that we're gonna put a tube down your stomach. And then the MRI was the one that sealed the deal.
She was like, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know about the goop one.
Yeah, it was disgusting. It was like some strawberry gook.
And were you you were at the hospital and they were watching it, or?
Yeah, like I was on a table. I don't know if I was underneath something. I can't remember. I must have been. And they were just watching it travel through my stomach.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then then I got something else, and they couldn't detect that something was wrong with my gallbladder, but it was able to detect that I had a tampon in and I was on my period. I was like, well, why you can see all that, but you can't see my gallbladder? But yeah.
She does have a tampon in, sir.
Right. So, we'll see. Hopefully, eventually, all of these medical and health issues that I'm having will be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to having a normal stomach. I miss those days.
Yeah. I might just start keeping a food diary or something.
I know. Every day I'm like, oh, do I have to go vegan or something?
Right.
I'm not ready for that life.
I don't know. I'm probably not vegan, but maybe you're like, maybe your stomach doesn't process meat. I don't know,
but I like to eat what I like to eat, and I don't want to change. I'm too young to not eat what the hell I want to eat. They got these fat men that are 255 pounds that can scarf down Popeyes and ribs and whatever else with no problem, and they're doing fine. I mean, eventually
they're slowly killing themselves.
I mean, eventually they might pass away of heart disease. Yeah. But their stomachs is not disagreeing with them. Yeah. So why is mine?
I don't know why people have gluten allergies, and when they eat gluten, they're about to die. Who knows?
Maybe that's it. Maybe I have a gluten allergy.
Maybe so. I don't know.
How do you know if you're allergic to gluten?
You can get a test, maybe, but that's like fucking everything.
Well, everything I eat hurts my stomach.
It could be.
But even when I don't eat, it'll start acting up. I'm like, I didn't even eat anything.
Right.
And she's on the fritz.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. All that to say, I had an organ removed, and yet the pain still persists.
Yeah, X-Reddit. I always X-Reddit things.
What?
Reddit.
Oh, Reddit.
Yeah. I love Reddit.
Do you?
Yes. I Reddit everything. And right now I listen to this podcast. And I forgot what it's called, but it's like this guy, and he always says guest on, but they read different Reddit stories. And they have guest on, like different guests on.
You said guest on.
Guest on. I have guest on.
I thought you were saying guest on.
No, I'm not talking about guest on. It has the Disney character guest on every episode. No, it's like this guy, he reads to podcast and he reads Reddit stories, and it is fun and hilarious and interesting.
Oh, you don't say.
I think it's called Reddit stories. I'm pretty sure.
I try to stay away from the internet and their public opinion when I'm searching for, what's wrong with my body, because the first thing they're always like cancer,
death.
I was after I had my surgery, and I was like, okay, what's really going on? Like, what else could it be? And I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race at the same time, and the girl on there, she was saying how one of the contestants, she had like liver cancer. And then I was Googling what else could be wrong with my stomach, and it was like liver cancer. And I was like, great, I have liver cancer. This is a sign.
Double win.
It was like, great. She has liver cancer, and I'm watching the show, and Google's telling me I have liver cancer. Fantastic.
Well, maybe yes. Then don't Google. Google with caution.
But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. I had my organ removed.
Yeah, I just been vibing, chilling.
Right.
I'm ready for that Mardi Gras. They've been following the Megan Thee Stallion and
that drama. Oh my
Megan
God, why is she such
Nicki.
a twat? That Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, what's wrong with her?
You bullet frame. Bullet frame.
What?
That video. It's like when she was on one of the lives and she was like, bullet fragment, you bullet fragment. You a bullet fragment.
That's what she kept saying. Or did someone like edit it?
No, she literally was like, she says she uses the B word, so I'm Xing that one out. But she's like, you a bullet fragment, bullet fragment.
Got it. Okay.
She's so weird. She's really on whatever she's on. She needs to lay off of it because she's really doing one in, and she's doing too much. She's been doing too much for a while now.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I'm done with you. God.
I was so joked. Everyone was like, she's on drugs. I was like, is this a common knowledge thing? I was like, I didn't know.
I mean, her behavior is very drug induced.
Yeah.
And it has been for a while. Like, she's been acting weird for some years now. Like, very peculiar.
Well, I think that's a personality, but it's gotten worse.
She has to be on drugs. I mean, I don't think I think the meanness behind her behavior is because she's just an awful person. Like, I always think she's, like, not kind. But she acts peculiar now. Like, why are you going on, like, you're a bullet fragment, bullet? Like, that's weird. Like, why are you doing that?
She was on a rampage.
She's not well.
Yeah.
She's not well.
Craziness. Well, I wish Megan the best.
We wish Meg the best.
Have you seen the new season of Vanderpump Rules yet?
Oh yeah, I watched the first little episode.
Oh, how was it? What was it giving? Tell me.
It was giving. We're still gonna be talking about this for the rest of the season, which is fine, I guess.
I mean, technically speaking, they just, we've been talking about it,
right?
Since, but the name never.
She said she was like in her confessional. Ariana was like, when he blew up our lives 3 months ago, and I was like, this was only 3 months ago.
Crazy, because we're over it,
right?
We went through it.
We're done here, but. Yeah, she was like 3 months ago. I mean, the first episode, it was really just like,
crazy.
Where has everybody been these past 3 months, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we're just talking about,
Tom.
Scandival.
Is Tom on it?
He'll be on the next episode. He wasn't on this one.
Good.
And they're still living in that house together.
Oh, God bless them. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how are y'all doing this?
Because he for that restaurant, I don't know, remortgaged his house for the restaurant.
But still.
Tied up all their shit.
Right.
And I know, I'm sure he's probably like, oh, I'm not moving out.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely like that. But I'm just like, just get an apartment until you sell it. Like, I just don't see the harm in either of them doing that.
I feel like none of them wants to be the I'm moving out.
Right. Which is fair,
yeah,
but...
Because I'm like, you should move out. And he's like, no, you should move out.
I mean, he really should be the one to move out.
Yeah.
But I guess it also depends on... he probably feels like he paid for the house. So he probably ain't moving out. But yeah, it was just like, what have we all been doing the last 3 months?
Yeah,
and it's just recovering from Scandival.
There was a time where every time I heard Scandival, I would click on it and I would dive. Like, I would deep dive into it. And I forgot what happens when I was just like, okay, and enough.
Like, we've had enough. We've seen enough.
I was listening to everyone's podcast, everyone talking about it, even if they said a minuscule thing. I was like, okay.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. For that time period, I really listened to Stassi's podcast.
I'm weak. I am. It makes me want to, because I didn't watch the season where, you know, it all unfolded.
You haven't seen it yet?
No. I've gotten the gist.
Oh.
I don't need to watch it.
It didn't really unfold on it until like the
I mean,
last
yeah, and it really
episodes,
didn't unfold, so I really won't be watching anything. I'll just be watching them interact, knowing that they had an affair.
Yeah.
Because nothing really unfolded.
Yeah, no.
So there's really nothing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a good season nonetheless. Before, I think it would have been a good season nonetheless. Before the whole,
before all that happened.
Yeah, it was just nice to watch and be like, dang, they already cheating on each other. Oh wow, he's already.
And I still don't get the timeline.
Definitely by Sheena's wedding, but probably if I had to guess, a little bit before Sheena's wedding, but definitely by Sheena's wedding.
Because I feel like they always said they did it one time.
He lied.
And then that was it for a while. And then it started up heavy.
Yeah, he lies.
That's a lot. That's not true.
He said they only had sex from the reunion. He was only saying they only had sex one time. It only happened one time. We're like, we know you're lying to us.
No, he didn't say that.
At the reunion, he
said it only happened one time, and then it started heavy.
He was trying to say that
he does say like it only happened that one time.
He was trying to say it was a one-time mistake.
No.
That's what I got from it. I don't know. But it happened before Raquel, and it didn't stop. I mean, but not maybe before. It happened before Sheena. It happened at least by Sheena's wedding, probably before Sheena's wedding. But at the very least, we know for a fact they have come out and said they had sex by then.
Right. Oh Lord. Well.
Yep. It was crazy.
I wish them all the best, except for Tom.
Yeah, I do wish them all the best, except for Tom. Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That's all I've got.
You want to tell us about the movie we're talking about?
Think. We've already done this movie before, but now we're doing the sequel. Think 3 very special women with very different lives, but they all have one thing in common. They all work for this very rich billionaire. Think a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette. Think 3 gorgeous women. Think spy movie. Think we won't always have this forever, but for right now, we have friendship. Think good turned evil. Think we've got to solve this mystery. Who could it be? Think the witness protection program. Think Bernie Mac. And that brings us to, drum roll please, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Our first sequel, everyone.
Yeah. Right on. This is our first sequel.
Yay.
You're welcome. Summary. The Angels, Alex, Lucy Liu, Dylan, Drew Barrymore, Natalie, Cameron Diaz, are ready to go undercover to retrieve 2 missing silver rings containing valuable encrypted information. The new identities of every person in the federal witness protection program. When witnesses start to turn up dead, only the Angels can stop the perpetrator by using their expertise as masters of disguise, espionage, and martial arts.
Hell yeah.
I didn't write that at all, so.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
That's why the word perpetrator tripped me up. What's this word? Because I didn't write it. The film is a 2003 action comedy directed by Mick G. and written by John August and Cormac and Marina Wilburley. It is the second installment in the Charlie's Angels film series and is based off of the television series of the same name created by Ivan Goff and Ben Roberts. Great stuff.
This is okay.
No, that's not okay. I'm not done here. The film was released June 27th, 2003, and was produced by Sony Pictures. The 3 main stars, Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu, reprise their 3 roles as Charlie's Angels. Let's see. Matt LeBlanc, Lucy Liu's boyfriend. Crispin Glover, the creepy thin man, and Luca Wilson, Natalie's boyfriend, all reprise their roles in the second installment. And then it also features new appearances from Justin Theroux. I think that's how you say his name. Seamus
O'Grady.
Demi Moore as Madison, Bernie Mac as Bosley, and Shia LaBeouf as Leo or Max.
What did they say what happened to White Man Bosley?
Yes, the reason why he did not return, well, the internet says is because, him and Lucy Liu were beefing in the first one. You remember that information?
I kind of remember you saying that.
So that's what they say it is. He said in an interview publicly that wasn't the reason. He was like, it wasn't 'cause of her.
Publicly, he said no. I thought you were going to say publicly, he said that's not the reason.
But apparently, someone else said he didn't want to work with the director again. Either way, he had beef with somebody.
It was Lucy Liu.
Budget?
$70 million.
No.
Too high, too low.
It's too low.
Oh, $100 million.
Closer.
$85 million. $90 million.
No, you were closer with 100.
$110 million. Jesus, was that much?
Not quite there.
$90 million?
You were closer with 110. Keep on going up.
$105 million?
No, keep going up.
130?
120. Jesus Christ.
Your wording was confusing.
I was like, no, you're close though. I thought that meant go higher, not go lower.
I think you used other words. But...
No, I didn't. those were my words of choice.
Okay.
So the budget was $120 million. Box office.
150.
The budget was 120. You thought they only made 150?
Yeah. 180.
Put some respect on their name. No.
200 million.
You're closer.
Okay, 250.
$259 million.
Okay.
Which, I mean, for $120 million, still not the greatest. I don't know what they needed $120 million to make this movie for.
It was an action.
I mean, yeah, but
all this freaking costumes.
We should have.
They doubled the costume budget of this movie. Had to.
No, they did not.
They had so many different costumes.
They were the same amount of costumes as they did in the first one.
I don't know. I thought it was way more costumes and way more.
What else did they put on besides when they go up to the man house and he did, and when they go to the orphanage?
They have the sexy costumes when they do the little dance in the very beginning. Those costumes. I mean, those are. I don't know. You call
What's
them
the very beginning?
When
they're in the Wiener Schnitzel outfit, the hot dog.
Let's count that one. It wasn't when she was wearing.
That's not expensive. Why do you think the costumes is what's costing this movie all the money?
Because it's 90% of what they do is wear costumes. And also, actually, I will say they did more like crazy tricks.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of flips.
They were doing a lot of like, oh, I'm jumping out of a plane.
Yeah,
and then
perfectly. Now I'm reaching for the other plane with my bare hand that I can now grip to. I was like, this is.
I loved it.
A bit dramatic.
No, it was Fast and Furious.
It was
18 level.
It was very Fast and the Furious, unrealistic.
But the only thing about this and Fast and Furious is that this is fun. Fast and Furious is like they be dead ass. they're like, no, this could happen.
No, these things are possible. They go to space in Fast and the Furious, which is just
the two black guys go to space. Which I hate to say that, but like out of all the people to go to space, it's in the two black guys. It's just so unrealistic.
Not the two black guys can't go to space.
I feel like they would be the two that'd be like, I'm not doing that. Like, obviously, I'm not going to space.
Here they find themselves in space.
It's so stupid.
Okay, what else do we have here? Look, I think that's about it. The other things that I found, I'll just say as we're going through the film. Cameron Diaz as Natalie Cook, Drew Barrymore as Dylan Saunders / Helen Zass, Lucy Liu as Alex Monday, Demi Moore as Madison Lee, a former angel, Bernie Mac as Jimmy Bosley, successor and adoptive brother of John Bosley, Justin Theroux as Seamus O'Grady, head of the O'Grady Irish mob.
I recognize that ass anywhere you place it.
Crispin Glover as the Thin Man / Anthony. Let's see who else is important here. Shia LaBeouf as Max Petroni or Leo. Luke Wilson as Pete Comiskey, Natalie's boyfriend. Matt LeBlanc as Jason Gibbons, Alex's boyfriend. I think that's about it.
Did we talk about last time that Destiny's Child basically did a song for this movie?
I don't think... Is it this movie or they did it for the first one?
I don't know.
I think it's for the first one.
Okay. Charlie's Angels. Come on.
I don't think we did.
Boom. Question. I wish they started doing that again. They did that. Actually,
That was awful.
Charlie's Angels. Come on. Dun, dun.
I don't think
Question.
that's quite the beat.
Not you talking about beat.
Okay, relax here.
I like that version. I didn't like, because, the third one of Charlie's Angels, not them, but the new cast,
reboot.
they have that. Don't call me angels.
Oh, yeah, with
That was-
Ariana Grande and freaking Lana Del Rey.
Oh my God, it was
And
so
it-
bad.
Who was the other one? Like Miley Cyrus?
Was Miley Cyrus? Yes, it was Miley Cyrus.
Is it Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think I just guessed. I don't think it's Miley Cyrus.
No, I'm pretty sure it is Miley Cyrus. Hold on. Is it called Don't Call Me Angel?
That was awful.
It's like
Then, like, Lana Del Rey just randomly comes in.
Ariana Grande, Lana Del Rey, and Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I just took a shot in
And
the dark.
I love the idea, but one song sucks. The song Call Me Angel.
It was awful.
It was just like, okay.
The movie was awful. The
You're-
song was awful.
You're supposed to pick a song that's like coming out, already out, and you just throw the cast in there. And I'm supposed to make a song for the album in this way. Because it's just terrible.
No, they make the song for the movie.
I don't know, but I like that the old, like, Kiss Me. Kiss Me. And they had, like, the cast in there.
Well, yeah, but they don't do that.
That's how I
anymore.
want it.
But I think for Charlie's Angels, this one, Destiny's Child, I think they made the song.
Really? Because they only say Charlie's Angels.
What
I feel
song is that?
Question. Tell me what you think about me. It's literally Charlie's... It literally has nothing to do with Charlie's Angels. Let me see. Destiny's Child. Is it Independent Woman?
I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own ring.
Independent. Is it Independent Woman? How's Independent Woman? But it's not like... It's not Destiny's... It's not Charlie's... It's like they're like,
just
they
add that in there.
Yeah, just like add it in
and
there
they continue
somewhere.
on with their song.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not bad for me.
Like we'll mention your little movie and our
Yeah.
little record hit.
They're like, which song can we throw this into? And they chose Independent Woman. They're like, perfect. That's how I like it.
I wonder if they're in the music video. Probably not.
I don't think so. Probably not. They were too big for that.
I feel like people are gonna be like, y'all should know what the music video is. But I don't. I feel like people are gonna think y'all should know what the music video is, but I don't.
Music video? No.
People know the music video to this song. Is this one that walking around with the pit bulls and they're all in pink?
Let's see. So, yeah, they're just like at a desk. Okay, there's scenes from the movie in here, and it looks like they're doing some kind of karate in the mix, which I don't mind.
They made this song for this movie, probably.
Oh, I think they made the music video for the movie.
I don't think that.
But I think they made the music video for the movie, and they just threw some stuff in here. But yeah, they're doing some superhero. I mean, it doesn't really go. I'm an independent woman. I'm a spy. Doesn't really.
Yes, it does. A spy, a female spy is an independent woman.
Yeah, but it's probably the best song they had in the album to go with the song. But that, if I was like, what kind of music video should we do to Independent Woman? I wouldn't be like, let's do Spies. I mean, it works.
To each its own.
Teach us own. Okay, where are we? Is that it? Are you ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready to get started.
Are you ready to dive in?
Ooh, I'm about to.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in. Whoa.
So the movie begins in northern Mongolia at a bar. I don't know why I wrote this. That looks like it's trying to resemble the Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West. It looks very
It looks before.
It looks like Mongolia in like what Mongolia would look like in like the year 1600.
The Wild Wild West. I don't know.
It did look civilized.
Does the Wild Wild West look civilized? I'm talking about like the movie Wild Wild West.
Oh, okay. It's giving me like, what's that man who like 30% of people are like related to him because he had so many children?
Genghis Khan.
It's giving me like Genghis Khan vibes,
Yeah.
like that time period, like that. Like it's just no rules, No box.
I wouldn't say
whatever.
all the way back
Nah,
there,
that's
but
what
yes.
it was giving me. That's what it was.
It's giving third world country, yes. So we see a couple guys bring down a crate into the basement, and a few seconds later, we see Alex appear from the box. She like gymnastics herself out of the box.
Yeah, she was stuck in a box
to get into the spot.
To get into this bar.
To get downstairs.
So they can, yeah.
And in another room downstairs in the basement, we see a hostage with a bag over his head. And we realize the girls are here, to obviously save him. He's wearing a suit. He's clearly white. This is who they're here for. So upstairs, we see Dylan having a drinking competition with a fellow barmaid. I can't tell if she wins or loses or not.
I didn't understand what was the point of that. Because he says in Mandarin, and he's like, what is an angel doing so far away from heaven? And she's like, I'm no angel. And then she just gets up and leaves. I'm like, what was the point of this?
I think that was their version of, I heard all angels go south for the winter.
I heard only angels fly this high.
Oh yeah, or something like that. I feel like that was their like new version of that, but you can't beat the original.
Right.
And I wonder if it's like a little foreshadowing because she's like, I'm not an angel, because she's gonna have like a little pity party halfway through this movie about where she comes from.
Not a little pity party.
It's so stupid. But yes, Dylan has won or lost his drinking competition. She gets up, leaves the table.
No one knows.
No one knows. I'm not sure.
When did she lose?
She takes the shot.
That's the point. She takes the shot and then she puts it down. I thought they were all gonna like cheer because she like won. Like, yeah. They didn't do that. Her stomach starts bubbling and she gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
Did she win?
Right, exactly. Does the guy take another shot?
Right.
Was she the final shot?
Yeah.
They don't.
They
it's
didn't
confusing.
finish that scene correctly.
Yes. So I'm really bothered by it.
I was frustrated with it.
I'm glad you are too, because it's like, did she win or lose? Anyway, she gets up from the table. She pretends to stumble so that she can steal some other guy's keys to get in the basement to let out Alex and the hostage. But before that can happen, Natalie enters the bar. She's undercover as like a Swedish, not foreign, a Swedish traveler. And she walks into the bar in all white. She's like, is this the hostage? No, is this the hostage? Is this hostel? No? Hostel, no? And everyone's like, yeah, this is it.
And then all of the men in the bar, because she's the only woman.
Yeah.
And they all go crazy. I'm concerned for her. at this point in the film.
Yes.
If she wasn't a spy,
right,
she would be in trouble.
Yes. Sex trafficked. Dead.
It doesn't look promising for her in this room full of criminals.
Yes. She's literally the only female.
She's the only woman there.
But
and they go crazy when they see her.
Crazy. So Natalie enters the bar. She sees a mechanical bull and she hops on it, which is so random for this bar to have a mechanical bull.
Especially as a bar that has no female patrons. Watching guys ride the bull all day.
Who's this for?
Who's this for?
That's a great point.
Watching the dudes ride this bull all day.
Yeah. Who's this for? What's our demographic here?
What is this bar's theme?
What's the theme?
Why is a mechanical bull in Mongolia?
In like a bar that probably it barely has like heat in there. I know it's cold as shit.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, but
anywho,
she gets on the mechanical bull. Her job there is to distract everyone so that Dylan and Alex can sneak out the hostage.
Mm-hmm. So the distraction obviously allows them to, go ahead, make their run for it to get the hostage. They have to. Where are we?
B. Just started. The hostage's name is U.S. Marshal Ray Carter.
That's who they're trying to get. Yeah.
So they managed to get out the basement because everyone's distracted by Natalie on the bull. But right before they can exit, someone notices them, and it's like record scratch. They're trying to, escape. Yeah. No, stop them.
Yeah.
And they do this cool like backflip thing, and
they do their martial arts stuff.
Yes.
They do their kung fu.
They're like
slowly moving in the air. They do like handstands to get onto the table. A lot of unnecessary stuff. And if someone would just pull out a gun and shoot them, it would all be over. But no one,
right.
no one ever thinks to do that.
Well, I think they tried when they brought out the guns. They were like, "Okay, yeah, we're not fighting our way out of this." And then they jumped through the window. I think that's what happened.
Oh,
I think they saw like guns and they were like, "Let's just hop out through this window." So someone pulls out a gun and then they hop out the window to escape. They make it to the ground, and then they find like an armored truck. They hop in the armored.
Are you trying to say armed?
No, like an armored truck, like a truck is thick and like
it's like one of those military trucks.
Yeah, I think it's called an armored truck.
Oh, they have names.
I think so, or like
one of those military grade trucks that have like missiles on the top of it.
Yeah. So they hijack that bad boy, all three of them, plus U.S. Marshal Ray Carter, and they start to drive. They're hoping to get away, but then at the other end of the bridge, there is a tank with what do you call it?
A missile.
A missile, and behind them there's also a missile. So you know what they have to do?
They got to jump off this bridge.
They have to drive that truck off this bridge,
and they're like on like a dam.
They're on a dam, yeah.
It's like a dam. It's like a bridge that's on top of a dam.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. So they hop out. So they drive off this cliff. I guess Natalie's
driving.
But how does she get in the helicopter? She's the one driving.
There's a helicopter involved in this?
Yes, there is. So someone has to switch because
where is there a helicopter?
They that's how they get out, in the helicopter.
Oh, where does the helicopter come?
I think, okay, so it's like one of those trucks, and in the back of it, it's like a flat lay, and the back is a helicopter or like some kind of flying.
One of the trucks had a helicopter.
The one they're driving.
Oh, really?
It had a helicopter in it. So when they drive it off the dam, I thought it was Natalie that was driving, but Natalie that was flying the helicopter. Somehow she gets in she starts flying the helicopter.
Yeah, once they hop off the bridge, they all start flying.
Yes.
As if they got wings or something.
Yes, but Natalie is in the helicopter. Alex is free falling, Dylan's free falling, and Carter is free falling, and then somehow they all get into the helicopter and they fly off.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's chaos.
It's chaos.
None of it makes sense. They literally are like free falling in the air.
Yes.
And then like Natalie becomes the driver, and then she has the hostage. She puts him in the passenger seat. Then Alex and Dylan are trying to catch up, and they're like flying through the air like it's easy. Yes. And they just like grab onto the wing of the helicopter.
Yes, that's the best part. Right. Like with her hands, she's like, "Oh, I got it."
Come on, guys! And then Natalie is like, "Come on!" And then
like,
Alex hooks on, and then Dylan is like taking forever. And they're like, "Dylan, come on!" Then something explodes in the background that propels her closer to the helicopter so that she can grab on with her hand.
Like it makes sense.
Like it. And then Ray, poor Ray, he's like, I underestimated you guys. And then Natalie's like, yeah, that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. So, and then cut to the men or the guy who captured the U.S. Marshal. He calls a mysterious person on the phone to let him know that Carter escapes with the help of 3 beautiful girls, but that they don't have the rings, that he still has the rings. And the mysterious person says, time to go to plan B.
Yeah, this whole point of them kidnapping this man is because he had one of a very important ring attached to his finger. That was the whole reason why they kidnapped him.
Why did she have to go to plan B? She already got the ring.
I don't know. Throughout this entire movie, if you pay attention, they're always like, let's go to plan B.
She loves plan B.
No, not just
everybody. Everyone loves plan B.
They're literally, when something happens with Bosley, they're like, Bosley, let's go to plan B. Plan B is like the theme throughout this movie.
I wonder if that was their like way to tell us that
she was an angel.
Yeah.
When she's talking to the guy, the guy from Mongolia, she also has like a Mongolian accent. So at no point did I think
speaking Mandarin.
She was American. She sounds like a Chinese woman.
Oh,
like,
I didn't catch that. I don't know. Sometimes when I read things,
it doesn't sound like an American woman speaking Mandarin. It sounds like a woman who's Chinese speaking Mandarin, her native tongue.
Well, so maybe you know. Sometimes when you are undercover, you have to be that good. So the Angels have rescued U.S. Carter, and in the next scene, they're back. Oh, so in the next scene, we hear the voice of Charlie, and he's giving us some background about the Angels and how they all came from different backgrounds. We see that Natalie.
Once upon a time, there were 3 very different girls, and then we see them all being 3 very different girls. We see Natalie being the mascot at her high school. She's a beaver, and she has a retainer, and she's awkward, and she's weird. Then we see young Alex being an elite acro gymnast competing for some sort of medal.
Yes.
Then we see Dylan. Is she wrestling?
Yes, she's a wrestler.
She's wrestling and she's dressed up as David Bowie.
Okay.
And then he says how they grew up to be extraordinary women. As they grow up to be extraordinary women, we see Alex beating a little 8-year-old boy in chess.
Yeah.
I guess she becomes the national champion in chess, but she's a grown woman beating a child. I thought that was weird.
Well,
Then we see Natalie, and she is helping a cow give birth to a young baby calf. And then we see Dylan driving monster trucks.
Yes.
So same, but different. They're all very different, but they all have one thing in common. They work for me. Charlie.
I still can't get over the fact.
Spy music.
Yeah. Spy music if you weren't catching on. Thank you for that rendition of spy music. I still cannot believe that they don't work for the government. And they work for freaking Charlie.
Right. They work
So
for a
random.
private agency. What if he was evil? What if he sent them on evil things? I mean, but I do think he has connections with, like, the government.
That's true.
Because, like, when we reveal that she's Helen Zass, and he was like, the FBI
recruited.
thought she was so good and extraordinary, they sent her to me. So he has connections to
Why would the FBI not keep her?
Right. Why wouldn't you just work for the FBI?
Yeah, why would you not keep your best option? You're like,
too
no.
good for
Yeah,
us.
she's too good for us.
She's too good for us.
Yeah, she
Charlie,
take her.
make her. Oh, I would also like to say, I meant to say this at the beginning. Look.
Okay.
I said this the last time we did this.
Mm-hmm.
If there is any similarity, if there's any Charlie out there, if there's any Charlie's Angels, anything similar, look, and y'all are hiring, hey, I'm available.
Girl,
okay,
you could never.
I could never. I can flip. I can do what they do.
The stress capacity you have to to
Look, I can easily be trained. Okay,
No.
I'm not saying just throw
to handle
me in
stress.
there. Hey, you're really not making my chances any better here. You're not helping my odds.
I'm just trying to
If
help
there is anyone out there who is hiring anything, I am welcome to come aboard.
you. Okay.
Hire me. Look, I'm available. I am ready to
Available.
save the world. Okay. Only in this capacity, though. It has to be fun. So.
Well, I don't think it will be. So now it's present day, and we see that the girls are helping Natalie move into her new place with her boyfriend Pete.
Petey.
So sweet, love them. While helping move
She's
Alex
moving into a beachfront apartment in
Money,
California.
Alex's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, they're on a break, comes up. Jason. He's dead. No, he's not dead. The other guy's dead. Sorry.
He's in Friends. He's not the deceased one from Friends.
Sorry, yes.
He's not Matthew Perry.
Right. But Jason shows up. We learn
Joey from Friends.
Yeah, we learn that they are on a break.
He's in the previous film.
Yes.
Action star.
You know what I thought was weird?
What?
Because clearly Natalie and Alex have money.
And
Dylan's just like, I'm broke. I'm like, Dylan, what are you spending your money on?
That's what I was confused about. And I also Alex is home.
Gorgeous.
What the hell?
It's like the same house that guy had from last.
No, it has to be the same
Yeah,
house.
it's like it's
Did
glass
she move
house.
in?
Yeah, did she move in? Right?
Literally-
Did she?
It's literally the same house that the villain from the first Charlie's Angels had.
It's gorgeous.
Like, it looks like an evil lair.
an evil lair.
But a gorgeous evil lair. It's like glass windows. It's like in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in a multi-million-dollar home.
And you know Dylan don't have a house.
Yeah, and then Dylan's talking about how the most expensive thing she owns is Alex's boots. Why are they rolling in dough and you're poor?
She just, maybe that's just her thing. She's like, I never have money, but she's like rich as hell. I don't know. But she should have money.
What's your salary?
Right, because y'all not doing this for funsies.
Right.
You paying back your debt? It's just so stupid.
It's so confusing.
Like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all give Natalie a beachfront LA home that's probably like $10 million? It's teeny tiny, but they're like $10 million back then.
Right.
And then Alex,
oh my god,
she's got
her mansion in the Hollywood Hills.
Right?
And
Glass.
then Alex is like, I just own boots.
Where do you live? They gave her nothing this movie.
No. I think they gave
in terms of storyline, I think they gave
yes. I mean, yes.
Alex nothing. Lucy Liu's character.
Yeah.
They give her nothing.
Well, I just meant like she has like Dylan is like kind of like at the end she's like I have no. She's like lonely.
Yeah, she's like I have. Well, that's fair. I mean, that's what happens when you're a nomad.
I guess, but everyone else got a boyfriend.
Yeah, if she wasn't so into the evil people, she could have one herself.
I don't think she wants one. I don't think she can hold down a man.
She
I
can't.
feel like that's not her thing.
It's not her path.
But anywho,
what she really doesn't realize is that she's a lesbian. That would have came out in the third installment, but I never got one of those.
So the girls are helping move, and then they get a call from Bosley, summoning them to the office. And the next scene, we see the girls excitedly greet Bosley. We think it's going to be white Bosley. The camera pans to frickin' Bernie Mac. Yay!
Yeah, we thought we were getting Bill Murray, but we got Bernie Mac.
Yes.
Which one do you like better? Which Bosley are you a fan of?
I really like... I think Bernie Mac's character in this movie got to do a lot more, and I really like him. I think he's really funny.
I like both.
I know it's hard. I like both too.
They both did great.
Yes.
I think Bill Murray was fun as Bosley, but I think Bernie Mac is fun as Bosley too.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
It's a hard one. I think they found an excellent replacement.
They did.
An excellent replacement.
And I love how they're just like they're brothers.
Yeah. They're brothers.
I don't think I ever caught that on. I don't think I ever caught on to that.
They didn't make it super obvious. Well, they do say, "Oh, your brother."
Yeah,
but still. So, who's adopted here? It must be Bosley.
Yeah,
the Bill Murray must be.
Yeah, what's his name? I think I wrote it down.
Their both name is Bosley.
That's their last name. Their first name is.
Their first name?
Yeah, it's like it's like.
Oh, they call them Bosley.
Jimmy. Okay, I think this is Bernie Mac is John Bosley, and then the other guy was Jimmy Bosley. No. Bernie Mac is Jimmy Bosley. John Bosley was the other one.
Interesting.
But their both last names are Bosley. That's why they call him Bosley.
Interesting.
But yes, Bernie Mac is the new Bosley. He's still learning the ropes of being.
He's only been there a few days.
Right, being Bosley. He's new to this. He's still learning the ropes.
And
to him.
he's very eager. He's very excited. But then the girls, they sit him down. They're like, "Look, we're happy to have you here. Your brother, he didn't sweat the small things. Look, you've got the most important job." And then Bernie Mac's like, "What's that?" He's like, "They're like, you connect us to Charlie. That's all we need you to do. Shut the hell up and put Charlie on the phone.
Right, and give us what we need.
And give us the today's assignment for the day."
Yes.
And so that's what he does. He puts Charlie on the phone. They bring up Charlie. Hello, Charlie. And then Charlie gives them the rundown.
Their new assignment.
Play by play, they were able to rescue Ray Carter, the U.S. Marshal. But on their little computer intercom Zoom session, I don't know who this man is. Is he the president of the United States?
He's the head of something.
He's like, I don't know. Maybe the Secretary of Staff, the U.S. Department head. I don't know. He's something important in the White House. He's on this Zoom call with the angels Charlie and Bosley. And he's like, "Hey, thanks for rescuing Ray Carter, whatever." But they weren't able to retrieve the ring that he was wearing. It's still out there. It's still out there in the open. He tells them, "Hey, this ring that Ray was wearing, it's very important. It is encrypted. It's something called Halo, these rings."
Hidden alias list operation.
Yes, that's what it's called, this ring. There's two of them. One is worn by Ray Carter. The other one is worn by a man named
William Rose Bailey,
played by
Bruce frickin' Willis. So happy to see him.
Who's married to
the lady in this movie. What's her name?
Oh my God! Look at you! I'm surprised.
Are they still married?
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
She married Ashton Kutcher.
Oh right. Damn. How old is she?
Well, a whole lot older than Ashton Kutcher. That's for sure.
I feel bad for Bruce Willis. He has
dementia.
Yeah.
It's not. He doesn't have dementia, but he has something similar.
Yeah,
to
one
it.
of those things.
Yeah, he's not doing.
His mind
good.
is gone.
Yeah.
Someone protect this man.
No, seriously, that's so sad.
So sad.
It's
I love
heartbreaking.
freaking Bruce Willis.
That's aging sucks.
I know, but you don't know how happy I don't remember that he was in this movie. When I heard his voice, I was like, "Is that Bruce Willis in here?" I was like, no way. And I was like, wait, that's freaking Bruce
Yeah,
Willis.
that's so crazy. We also failed to mention in the scene, so he is, what is he? I know what he is.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, what is his character?
He's a Justice Department.
He's the head of the Justice Department. He's randomly getting on his private plane, and he's killed by these assassins.
Yes.
And he's also wearing the Halo ring. So, fast forward back into our meeting on the Zoom call with the important man who works at the White House. He's telling them, hey, so this Halo system, it's 2 rings. One is worn by Ray Carter, the man who y'all rescued, and then another one is worn by...
William Rose Bailey.
Played by...
Bruce Willis.
He was murdered this morning. The other one we lost when y'all were finding Ray Carter. But the importance of these rings, they are encrypted with the list of every single person who is a member of the Witness Protection Program.
Wow, that sounds very important.
Separately, the rings are unrecognizable. You can't read them.
Useless.
Put them together, however, the list becomes available.
Unencrypt.
Unencrypt. And you're able to see everybody who's on there.
So
and
stupid.
he's like, and then so Dylan's like, so the rings are out there. And he's like, yeah. And now we gotta find them.
Yes, he says that someone has already contacted the major crime families with an offer to sell them the list.
We see all the crime families. We see an Asian crime family. We see an Irish crime family. I guess we see a Russian crime family.
Yeah, you say Italian already?
We see, an Italian crime family. We see all the crime families
Yes.
of every nationality. And
Every background.
Every background, except for the black crime
Yeah, we didn't get
family.
one.
We don't see them.
That's right. We don't get organized crime.
Right, we don't get...
Have y'all never heard of...
We just get petty crime. Have you
y'all-
never heard of American Gangster?
Thank you. I wasn't going to get it out.
I
because
knew you
couldn't.
weren't.
But thank you.
Anywho, but we see all the crime families. They have already been contacted to purchase the 2 rings. So
list.
this is
Not
is
good.
dangerous. He also, this guy who works for the White House, whose job description we do not know, he also says that somebody who's on the list has already been murdered.
Alan Caulfield.
Caulfield, he's already been murdered. He was on the list. He's dead.
He was found dead in his
Dylan,
home.
we pan to Dylan. She's looking a little nervous.
She's a little...
We don't
Was
know
she?
why though, but we do know why.
Yeah.
But she's looking a little nervous. She's
It's-
like, "Oh no."
I think it's weird that she never shared that with them. Did she
I
forget?
don't think so.
You think it's that weird?
No.
In the Witness Protector Program?
Charlie knows. That's all. Who needs to know?
That's all. And? What now?
So,
What now?
what now? What now?
Heard you made music for gay people.
One of our interns said that you make music for gay people. I do.
Oh, I ain't the intern.
So,
Oh, I ain't the intern. She looking at me like I'm an intern.
and what now?
Azealia.
Oh my God. They were scared of her. They were petrified. He's like,
Petrified.
oh, I'm not the intern.
He said, "Oh, I'm not the intern."
Please
They'll be
don't
like-
look at me.
He said, "Don't look at me. I ain't the intern." But yes, Alan Caulfield was found dead at his home.
It's a TikTok, people.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That is going to be their first order of business.
so that is their first lead. They're like, okay, this guy was murdered. He's on the list. Let's go to his house, see if we can find any evidence.
So they
They
go.
asked Bosley to tag along.
Yes. So they go undercover as Alex is dressed as a evidence recovery specialist. Dylan goes undercover as a crime scene photographer. Natalie as a CSI team leader, and Bosley as a coroner. I ain't touching no dead body. He says.
I would just like to say the commitment to the costume that Natalie has on is grade A.
I think it's hilarious. It's just
I
like so
think
unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. I love the mullet. I love the big hips. I love the lesbian aura
Yeah.
that she gives off.
I think she must have like demanded, because usually when she goes undercover, I feel like Natalie always plays like the sexy appealing one.
Right.
Like
Except
I'm
for
here.
that time they were dressed up as men in the last movie.
Yes. And I feel like one every now and again she gets one ugly.
Yeah.
One ugly
but she
costume.
did it so good.
She did do it.
She's
so.
like, your sergeant is here. Okay.
right here.
So
Unnecessary scene.
they pull up at the crime
costume.
scene. This cop tries to give them, the runaround.
Who is this guy? Is he like important?
He looks like he's supposed to be famous, but he's like, I don't think he is.
Yeah, I feel like he was like a special guest that I don't know about. I don't know.
It looks like he's supposed to be famous, but I literally have never seen him anywhere outside of this film.
Background for this guy.
But yeah, so he's trying to give them the runaround, this cop who's at the scene. Natalie puts on her big girl britches and she's like,
Not
You
here.
and your men will stand down as me and my team, we go in and assess out the situation.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I have to run it by my sergeant. She's like, your sergeant is here. I'm your sergeant today,
Sergeant's
baby.
here.
So they go into the house. The dead body's there. They, do their little investigation. Natalie sees that the credit card that he used to get into the house has surfer wax
Pineapple flavored surfboard wax.
on it.
Yeah.
So the same wax or the same credit card that he used to enter through the house via the keyhole is the same credit card he uses to wax his surferboard. So they are able to deduce that the murderer is a surfer.
Yes. They also.
Then Dylan
Yeah.
sees that via his footprints, they find his footprints on the floor. She is able to tell that he's wearing Air Jordans, very limited edition. That
Reissued 1989 Air Jordans.
That were only sold somewhere. Who cares?
On Patagonia Street.
Yeah, in like Burbank somewhere.
Yeah.
And by the pattern of his footsteps in the weight distribution of like the imprints on the footsteps, she's able to tell that he has a torn ligament in his knee. And it's an injury that happened recently within like the past six months to a year.
He should have a scar on his leg.
And he has a scar on his leg. What Alex deduces, I do not know. Did she find something?
Yeah, she because I think he was supposed to make it look like he wasn't murdered, but she figures out that he was smothered to death.
Yeah. It's supposed to look like that he choked.
Yeah, something.
But he was smothered to death.
Yeah.
So this is all the information that they gather. And this is what they're going to use to continue on with their investigation.
Yes. Before they do that, they take a break from their double lives, and Alex goes to her beautiful home in Hollywood Hills.
Oh my God, that gorgeous mansion.
Yes. And we see that her father's in town,
Her white dad.
Yeah, some British man.
They couldn't give her an Asian dad.
Yes. And they seem to have a closer relationship because I think in the last movie they had just met each other or something like that. They were just getting to know each other. And I think in this movie, right? Am I tripping?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Did I make that up? He was in the last movie, no?
No.
Okay. Maybe I made that up.
I think you did.
Okay. Well, in my
in your brain?
In my brain, he was in the last movie and they just met each other, long lost dad. In this movie they got closer. But that is apparently a lie that I told myself.
Yeah.
But we do know that her dad does not know what she does for a living.
He thinks that
yes.
she's a doctor.
That she works in the hospital.
And then, so he surprises her. Why he's there, I do not know.
Why visiting?
Why does he have keys to her home? I don't know. But he's in her
dad.
house. And she's like, oh my God, Daddy, I didn't know you were coming. I thought you weren't coming for another week. And he's like, la 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 la. Flight got early. La 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 la. And then they're super close. They kiss each other on the mouth. Gross.
They do kiss each other on the mouth.
I thought that was so weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
I don't know if I felt it was weird because I know that's not her dad in real life. Or just the concept. I don't know if kissing your dad on your lips at like 30. I don't know. I just thought it was peculiar.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that weird.
But they do it more than once.
They do it more than
once. And I was
once.
like, enough.
Yeah. I mean, every time.
Look, I'm not shaming chicks who kiss their dad on the lips. Just for me, I was like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not.
No, I get it. Every time I saw it, I thought it was sweet. Every time I saw it, I was like, oh wow, you guys still do that. Oh,
I'm like, oh wow, you're doing it again.
Right. I thought
it's happening again.
I thought it was sweet. So that's nice.
It was too much for me. Anywho, she sees her dad. Her dad's in her house. She's like, what are you doing here? They're super close. Then Natalie and Dylan emerge. They're at the house. Kerfuffle. Lives are starting to mix.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie's like, hey, nice to meet you, Alex's dad. I'm Natalie. This is Dylan. And then Alex goes on to say, oh, Daddy, Natalie and Dylan, they work at the hospital with me. Natalie works in the psychiatric ward. And Dylan is the head of gynecology. So we ultimately get from the scene that Alex's father doesn't know what she does for a living.
Yes.
And she's been lying to him. And then, Alex is trying to cut this whole conversation and meet and greet short. And she's like, look, we've got to go to the hospital. Super important stuff. Love you, Dad. Talk to you once I get home from work. And he's like, yeah, go save lives. Love you, babe.
So now the girls are back on the case, including Bosley. They head down to the beach to track down the person who killed Alan Caulfield. They deduce that he's a surfer because of the pineapple wax that they found at the crime scene. the crime scene. So Dylan and Alex are undercover as hot dog stand workers. They send Bosley out as a fellow surfboard to taste other people's surfboards.
Yeah, they sent him out as a surfer.
And he's tasting people's surfboard wax just to
see who has pineapple.
Who's got what
wax on their board.
And then Natalie's also undercover as a surfer. And
what I must say is, I think it's very I feel like Natalie always gets to do like
she's always hot.
Yeah. And the other two aren't. And then I always feel like, okay, Natalie always gets like the top tier hot thing. Mm-hmm. Then Dylan gets like the second tier hot thing. And then Natalie's always like in the back trying to rescue the person.
Alex.
What did I say?
Natalie
always gets the top tier hot thing. Dylan gets like the second tier. And then Alex is always in the back like playing rescue.
I don't know. But Natalie is always the hot person.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
But Natalie's always the hot person.
Just because she's the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman, she gets to do everything that involves being attractive?
Yes.
Whatever.
Everything is hot.
Anywho, so
Natalie's undercover as a surfer. And then, lo and behold, who's also at the beach when I'm at the beach? Former Angel Madison Lee.
Played by Demi Moore.
She comes up.
And Natalie's just, she's like waxing her board, being undercover. And Madison comes up and she's like, Natalie, I don't know her last name. And then Natalie's like, oh my God, Madison Lee?
I don't know.
And then, they're kikiing. They're like, ha 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 ha. Alex and Dylan are watching from afar and they're like, holy shit, that's Madison Lee. Like the greatest freaking angel to ever leave Charlie's Angels. They're reminiscing about the good old days. And then... that's really it.
Yeah, they're undercover, so they go back to work. She gets her own personal slow beach run.
Yeah, she gets like her own Baywatch moment, and she like runs off.
She looks really good.
She does looks really good, and she had to have been. She's like 60 now, so she had to have been at least like, I don't know, 40 something.
Yeah, she looks really good. It's like she looks better than all of them combined. Like her body is amazing. I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing?
I don't know if she look better than Lucy Liu, but she do look good.
The body. That body, I was just like...
Well, we only get to see Natalie's body. So who knows?
I don't think any one of them is ripped
No. When they do when they're at the treasure chest, and they're dressed up as, like, the pussycat dolls. Yeah. Natalie's body... Not Natalie. Lucy Liu's body looks excellent. Her stomach, I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, all their bodies look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But she's ripped. I'm like, what are you doing at home? Are you preparing? What were you preparing for this scene? Are you always like this?
If I was preparing for Charlie's Angels in a bikini scene, I'd look like that too.
I'd be like, One Piece me now. Thank you. But they spot the crew, the Angels. They spot one last surfer out in the water. Alex notices that he has a scar on his leg. Plus the fact that Dylan thinks he's hot because she always likes bad guys. They deduce that this must be the guy that they are looking for.
And they tell Natalie to move in.
While Natalie's out there doing her job, Alex and Dylan are chit-chatting, they're kikiing. And Alex asks Dylan, who do you think is going to be the first one to leave the crew? Depressing. Dylan is clearly thrown off by this question. She doesn't like it.
She's like, what are you talking about? And then Alex is like, I think it'll be Natalie. And then Dylan is like, why do you think any of us are gonna leave? And then she was like, well, her and Pete just moved in together. They're getting pretty serious. And she's like, you don't think it's gonna be just the three of us forever, do you? And then Dylan is like, low-key like, I mean, yeah. And then she's like, eventually, Alex is like, eventually Pete and Natalie, they're going to get engaged and we're going to be walking down the aisle in ugly pink fluffy bridesmaid gown. And, eventually we're going to have to replace her.
And there's like a flash of like the possible difference.
Yeah, there's like a flash forward into the future of like the possibility of like who would be the next angel after Dylan leaves. And we see Eve, which is a new member I support. And then after Eve, Natalie is gone. Now Alex is gone. And now it's the Olsen twins. And Dylan is like 80 years old.
Yes. That's hilarious. Was there one more?
No, it's just that one.
That's just some too. I thought it was funny.
And then Dylan doesn't like this concept at all. And now the wheels are turning in her head. And she's like, oh my goodness, my perfect life of my 3 friends. And, change. She's not here for it.
Yes, they don't like it at all.
Because what does she have going for her other than this job? Like she mentioned, she's broke, she's horny, and She's poor.
Yeah. Poor twice.
Poor twice. Not only is she broke, she's poor.
And she's alone, honey. But, so once we're done with this conversation, Alex and Dylan, they find the killer's car. They're underneath his car while Natalie's talking to him. They're going through his stuff. They're looking at his car.
He has a name, but I can't tell you what it is. He is hot, though.
Randy Emmers.
Randy Emmers is the murderer.
And
the suspect that they are investigating.
so they're going through his stuff. He's paying, Natalie's flirting with him. He might be the first character to not pay Natalie any mind.
Oh my god, it was actually like uncomfortable to watch how like uninterested he was.
Yeah, he was like,
and I was like, this just like isn't like this doesn't make any sense.
just say hello.
Right. She's literally going on and on. She was like, oh my god, that was such good swells out there, Ray. And she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be wet and soaked for hours. And she's like, oh my goodness, what didn't you have like so much fun? And she's like, I'm really new to this. And he's literally looking at her like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Not saying anything, literally staring
Unbothered.
daggers into her soul.
Right.
But nonetheless, who cares? He gets in his car. He pulls off. Natalie's like, okay, catch you later. He pulls off, and then behind her now is Alex and Dylan, and they get the information they need.
His name is Randy Emmers.
His name is Randy Emmers. He's going to this motorbike convention,
the Coal Bowl.
called the Coal Bowl, and on the back it has on the back of the flyer for the Coal Bowl that he will be attending to. It has a name on the back that says Leo, who they assume will be his next target.
Dun, dun, dun.
So they pack up their bags and they make arrangements to go to the Coal Bowl.
This probably costs some money too. These bikes. Add that to the budget.
Not these bikes.
These fucking bikes,
These
man.
freaking bikes. These freaking dirt bikes they got everywhere.
Yes.
Cost an arm and a leg.
Yes.
You know how many freaking professional, what is it, go bikes? Go-kart? What the shit is
Motorcycle. Motocross bikes.
it? Motocross bike professionals that they had to hire?
Yeah.
A lot.
Right. And then everyone had to like the insurance alone.
Then they had Pink in the scene.
And then I'm sure that guy that kept talking to Alex had to be a professional motorbiker. We just didn't know.
You think so?
I think so.
I feel like he was just an extra.
No, I feel like he was professional.
I don't know why
know.
you felt that.
Just thought, why
just
not?
Something about this. Okay. I see
Just
what
thought it
you're
was like, why have this guy talk to her?
because she's hot.
She always does. They did that last one too.
Yeah. Someone
Like,
always trying to hit on Alex.
He's like, no, thank you. I'm working. Let me see.
I have a man.
I feel like, okay, let's see. Special appearances. I don't see it, but it felt right. Okay.
It felt
maybe
that
not.
way.
But anywho, they're at the Coal Bowl. They're undercover as fellow racers. This is their game plan. Dylan is to look for Leo, and Alex is to look for Emmers. And then Natalie's going to go buy their way into the race, and that's when we get our cameo from Pink. It's 2 ups, 2 downs. The only rule is there is no rule. And have fun.
3 out of 4 don't make it to the finish line. Natalie says she'll take those odds.
I take the odds, man. All right,
So
Pink.
they all of the motorbike racers, whatever, are lining up to begin the race.
Mm-hmm.
Emmers, the murderer, who was the surfer, he pulls in without a shirt on, I must add. Don't understand why he pulled in without a shirt. Was this literally immediately after he finished surfing?
I hope not. There was no way they could find that costume.
That's a long day.
Yeah, that's a long day. There's no way they could come up with this costume.
Bro, that's a long work day, if so. But anywho, he pulls up without a shirt on, which I thought was like really weird and unnecessary.
That's what he does. He's a beach boy.
Right. So he pulls up, he enters the line of motorists, then Natalie's in line, and then we notice a gentleman in a blue color suit, and he puts on his helmet, and on the back there's a lion. Leo! That's gotta be him. That's gotta be the person that Emmers is here for. So they spot him.
Got his
and
ass.
the race begins.
I don't know what I'm singing.
I don't know what the hell you're saying.
I do want to say before they started the race, Dylan asked Natalie about her relationship and if she thought she was getting married.
Oh, yeah. After the conversation that Alex and Dylan had, you know, before the race starts, of course, now Dylan's stressed because she's like, oh my God, Natalie's going to leave us. My perfect world is deteriorating. So she goes up to Natalie in the middle of them working.
Hey, girl.
And then she's like, hey, What do you think is like going on with you and Pete? Like, are y'all like serious or anything like that? And then Natalie's like, wait, huh? And then she's like, well, I'm just like, Dylan's like, I'm just wondering, like, do you think y'all are gonna get married or anything? And then Natalie's like, did Pete ask you if I
want to get married?
Want to get married?
We just moved in with each other.
She's like, we just moved in, and then like Dylan's like, no, he didn't ask anything like that. I'm just wondering. And then now Natalie is like in her own head, and she's like, holy shit, is Pete gonna propose to me?
She's
and
not
like
into
Natalie
it
in her own world is like, that might be moving too fast. We moved in together like yesterday.
Weird.
So
like, gross. Lots going on.
So back to the race. It's taken off. Emmers is trying to get closer to Leo, so he's like attacking the other racers. He's kicking them. He's I don't know, throwing stuff at them.
Right.
He's making funny faces. Not really.
He's not making
funny faces. And then the girls are trying to catch up to Emmers so he doesn't kill Leo.
Yeah. At first, Alex and Dylan, they're just watching, but then after watching Emmers take out like 5 different people in the race, they're like, okay, this is enough. We gotta get in there.
I hate that part.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Guys.
Every time,
it's so awkward.
It's so uncomfortable. They're like, Nellie's like, I'm following Emmers, and then Dylan's like, what's going on? He's taking out everybody. Natalie's like, he's after Leo. And then Alex is like, we've got to get in there. It makes me so uncomfortable. It is the most cringeworthy acting I've ever seen. And then Natalie's like, he just took him out in the front 40. What the fuck does that mean? No one knows what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't understand.
oh my god, it's so awkward, and it's just,
I don't like it.
oh my god, I'm just like, just please get on the bike.
Yeah.
And stop talking.
Just get on the bike.
Get on the bike and just give us action and stop speaking.
Yes.
Please, because this is awful.
Awful. So once Emmers realizes the girls are after him, he begins to shoot at them. And the girls are, obviously able to avoid these bullets by just moving slightly to the right.
Because they're magicians.
Yes, and they jump through the air. They jump off their bikes into somebody else's bike. They steal bikes. It's mayhem.
A lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
Mayhem going on.
So the Angels, they lose Emmers for a second. And just in that time, Emmers is just about to go in for the kill on Leo. But Emmers himself is killed by a reoccurring character, the Thin Man, who was believed to be dead after the last movie, right?
Does he die?
I kind of thought he died in the explosion.
Oh.
I thought he was dead. They never showed him again.
I guess so. Yeah.
We weren't sure about his whereabouts.
What's weird to me though is in the last movie he's legit a villain because we watch him murder somebody. Yeah. But in this movie he's good. I just didn't get it.
He's complicated. He's an assassin.
Oh. I guess that's true. Yeah, he is in fact an assassin.
He's an assassin.
That's true.
So
they just go where the money goes.
That's
fair.
So yes, the Thin Man kills Emmers before he can kill Leo. And before he crashes his bike and leaves midair, him and Dylan cross paths, and Dylan jacks his silver chain that he's wearing, and he once again takes a piece of Dylan's hair.
So that's his thing. He likes to rip women's hair from their scalp.
He sniffs that freaking hair, and he's out of there, buddy.
Oh my god, he's such a weirdo.
He sniffs it so strong.
So right,
really gets in there.
So once he crashes his bike, he takes off his helmet. They see that it's a creepy Thin Man, and then he scurries off.
He's one of my favorite characters. I don't know why. I think it's because of this movie that I really like him.
I don't really think he was necessary in this film. He was just
random. Sure.
We didn't need that storyline.
I liked it though.
I like it when they go to
not really necessary.
I do like it when they go to the orphanage. And they have on those blue nun costumes. Yeah. I do like it, but it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah, and he wasn't he wasn't working for anyone in this film.
Yeah.
Last film made sense.
Yeah.
Also, probably could have done without him, truly.
No, we definitely could.
Yeah, but
there was no point for his storyline.
I like the addition.
There was no point for Shia LaBeouf's storyline, really. Well, you could kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
But the creepy Thin Man's, no.
I mean, if you got rid of Shia LaBeouf, you could have definitely got rid of Thin Man because they had no connection.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You could have done Shia LaBeouf without doing the creepy Thin Man.
Yeah.
But anywho. So, everybody's dead.
Yes.
Everyone's died.
Everyone's dead.
Emmers is dead because the creepy Thin Man killed him. Ember's killed like 3 motorists in this little
He ruined their
motorcycle
career.
race.
He ruined 8 careers back
and
there.
then, meanwhile, Leo's like, what the hell is going on? So, the race is over, basically.
Yes.
Leo takes off his head, and he's like, what the hell? And Natalie looks at him, and she's like, wait, you're just a kid. And it's Shia LaBeouf, and he's like, I'm 15 and a half. Relax.
Oh,
And then, meanwhile, Alex is checking Emmers's pulse.
Emmer's pulse. I don't know.
He's dead. Alex is like, he's dead. But in his, like, coat pocket, or whatever, not his coat pocket, because he doesn't have a coat on his person, he has a picture of, what's his name, the guy who died at the beginning?
Alan Caulfield.
Who he killed at the beginning of the film.
Max Petroni.
He has a picture of Max Petroni, who was Leo. So Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And then he has one final picture of his, on his person.
Oh,
and it's a picture of Helen Zass.
Who's
and
that?
then Natalie looks at the photo like, Helen Zass. And then she shows it to Alex. Alex looks at it. And then we, as the viewer, we see the photo. And who is it? It's freaking Dylan.
What?
What's going on here?
She
pan
lied
Dylan,
to
and
us.
Dylan is like, shit, I'm caught.
You liar. How are we supposed
You're
to...
a liar. Who
How are
are
we supposed
you?
to be a family?
We're supposed to be friends.
And I don't even know your real name.
We don't even know who you are.
Zaz. It wasn't that long ago.
So fast forward, we're at the Charlie headquarters. Whatever. And Dylan tells her story, and she was like, Helen Zass, that was my name before I entered the witness protection program. After having a couple of jokes of her stupid, idiotic last name, Zass.
That's really asinine of you.
You got Zass, is that name hell from Australia?
I like that one. Good job.
Anywho.
Hilarious.
So they have a couple of laughs at her stupid ass last name. And she
Get a flashback.
reveals how she ended up in the witness protection program. So she tells her story. She dated this guy, a really bad guy. His name was Seamus.
Oh, great.
She really liked him though. He was so cute, so hot. They used to drive around, have fun, listening to metal. And we get a flashback. They're driving in the car. They're making out really grossly. He has a retainer in his mouth.
Braces.
I don't know why.
A gangster.
She has like blonde hair and a
with
bang.
braces.
8 years ago this was when she dated him.
Not that long ago.
They're driving around the car. They're really in love or in lust or whatever. They're making out.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to this restaurant. They pull up.
Restaurant.
I just want to say,
if you will.
when he gets out of the car and she does all that hooping and hollering, oh my god, I hate that.
I love that scene.
So much.
It's so ridiculous.
Seamus! Seamus, I love you! I die for you, Seamus!
It's also
so much.
It's actually really funny that she says that and like he kills someone. She's like, I will not die for you.
I'm actually sending you to prison.
Yes. I will not die for you. I will not lie for you. I am actually not a ride or die.
I'm actually not. Thank you for the realization, actually, because actually everything that I just said is not true whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to put you in jail.
Yeah, I actually take that back.
I take all of it.
I
will
didn't mean not
any
die
of
for
it.
you.
I didn't mean anything that I just said.
Yeah, I will rat you out.
I'm actually going to betray you. Stop betraying me. I'm actually going to give you the ultimate betrayal.
Ooh, it's just, I mean, obviously turn him in, girl, but the fact that she was like, I love you, I would die for you, you saw it.
Wait until you get a load of this one, honey.
Wait till
Pow,
you...
pow.
What about now?
What about now?
Huh?
So, anywho, so they're riding the car. They stop at this restaurant. After her freaking episode of Seamus, I die for you. He gets out of the car and he shoots this guy to death. He kills this person right in front of her because he's a part of the mob, the Irish mob. So he shoots this guy point blank right in front of her. And after that, she rethinks her entire life.
Yes.
And, so she sends him to prison ultimately after that for 8 years. And yeah. And then so Natalie's like, okay, so who is this guy? So she reveals to Natalie and Alex that he is Seamus O'Grady, a member of the O'Grady crime family.
Yes.
One of the people who was enlisted to buy the rings.
Yeah, they're on the list. The O'Grady crime family.
Yeah.
We
So
sent them the
then Max, played by Shia LaBeouf, reveals that the O'Gradys killed his parents.
list. Mhm.
and that he testified against him. So if you haven't realized by now, Max is on the list, the witness protection
program,
list.
Yes.
And then also the guy
Alan
Caulfield testified against the O'Grady's, and then Helen's ass sent Seamus O'Grady to prison. So they make the realization that they must have the rings.
They must have the list.
They've got the list.
They got the list. They got the list. This is Plan B. If you're following, this is that girl's Plan B.
Oh.
We don't know why she had to do all this.
This was Plan B. Okay.
Instead of just selling it.
I didn't understand.
I think Plan B is
that
making them think that the O'Grady's have the list by killing people on their most hot wanted list.
Okay, so did Emmers work for the O'Grady's, or he was working for Madison?
They were partners.
No, not Carter. Emmers, the hot guy, the surfer.
Oh, maybe he's working for the O'Grady's, yeah.
So do they have the list at this point?
The O'Grady's?
Yeah.
I think so.
Or is she's
giving them...
Or Madison's just sending people to kill.
Could be either or. I feel like they either one... I don't think they have the whole list. They either one, Madison is killing people that are... the O'Grady's would want dead just to point them in that direction, or she gave them a couple people so they can kill.
Because he gets out of prison, then she gives him the rings.
Yes.
So they don't really have the rings yet.
No. But yeah, I think they just want... They want them... I think at the end of the day, she just wants them to have the attention. Push it that way. Decoy family. You don't watch. Yes.
So anywho, they think the O'Grady's have the rings. They may or may not. It's not really.
Yeah.
Spelled
doesn't really
out.
matter. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter. But
as long
if
as
you really cared, it does.
So now that they're having learned all this, they bring up the Thin Man again, and they realize that they have his chain. And then Max sees this chain. He's like, "Oh, I know this chain. This is the same chain that everyone at the orphanage that I was at, the nuns, this is what they give to us."
So they come from the same orphanage.
Yes.
Thin Man and Max.
Yes. And so that's our next lead. Let's find our favorite creepy assassin's background history. Let's figure it out.
Which was not necessary.
Was not necessary, but a great costume.
They go to this orphanage. Gorgeous orphanage.
Oh, before they go, Max is now under their protective custody, and Bernie Mac is like, Bosley, it's like, I'm going to take him to my mom in South Central. He's going to be safe. That was one of my favorite storylines. I thought it was fun.
Right. He's like, nobody by the name of O'Grady has ever come to South Central LA, okay? You're safe here. White people don't come over here.
Yes.
So you're safe.
Perfect.
So yeah, they take Max to Bernie Mac's house in the hood, which I'm sure is not the hood anymore because it's been gentrified. Yes.
And then cut to present day. We see Seamus O'Grady, now a gangster without braces, because before he had braces, which is stupid. He's in his prison cell. He's doing pull-ups. In the background of the cell, we see a picture of Dylan. And we learn that he's being released from prison. Outside of prison, we see the same mysterious person that we keep on seeing, and she gives O'Grady a current picture, updated photo of Dylan and the 2 halo rings. And O'Grady confirms with that person that as long as he is in possession of these rings, that Dylan will set out to follow him. And she's like, yeah, as long as you got these rings, Dylan go come to you.
Yeah. So you don't even got to go to her. She'll come to you.
She won't find that ass. Okay. So the angels now head to the orphanage. They are undercover as nuns.
Why they're in... I've never ever seen nuns in blue.
I have.
That exists?
You've seen it. Not in real life, but I've seen it in like some documentary or something. It's a different order.
Not in real life. But you've seen it in documentary, so in real life.
Yeah, you're seeing like a person.
Your eyes. Oh,
yeah.
To your own eyes.
Yes.
I thought you were saying in real life that doesn't exist. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. I just haven't.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen
I've
it.
never in my life, not in pictures, photos, or in reality.
I think I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, they were like a European order, but I could be wrong. But yes, I've seen that before.
Well, anywho, they go to the orphanage that Thin Man and Max came out of. And they're dressed up as blue nuns. Love the get up. It's just so colorful. And they meet with Mother Superior, the head of the orphanage. I would like to pinpoint or point out that the orphanage It's actually a famous mansion.
Oh.
Guess what mansion it is?
The mansion. I don't know. What the fuck does that mean? Guess what mansion it is? What? How do I answer that?
Think of a famous house. The blank mansion.
The Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, it's the Playboy Mansion.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Gross.
So then when we get to the orphanage and there's like 2 little boys or 3 little boys and they're looking at a magazine, they're like, look at the knockers on that. They're reading the Playboy magazine.
That is hilarious. I love that. That's fun.
So yeah, they're at the Playboy Mansion. That's what this orphanage is. So anywho, they meet with the mother superior, the head lady of the orphanage, and they're basically asking her about the creepy thin man. And then she's like, oh yeah, of course I know who he is. We called him Anthony after Saint Anthony of Padua, the patron saint of the mute. Didn't know that.
I thought he was
fun fact, me and Jordan went to a school called Saint Anthony of Padua.
Yes.
Anywho, so they called him Anthony, blah, 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 blah. They said one day they found him, the police found him, brought him to the orphanage. They think that he was part of the Romanian circus and that his family died in a fire. And although nothing was physically wrong with him, he never spoke a word. And he was a terribly shy child, except for his occasional monthly haircut. And that is where he would act crazy and pull bitches' hair out of their scalp. Like he's due today.
Right.
And so Mother Superior giving them all this tea, and they're like, oh, this is fascinating. And then so basically like Alex asks, so he is the sole benefactor of this orphanage? And then Mother Superior is like, yeah, he truly is a saint.
Random.
And then Dylan's like, so he was protecting Leo.
Yes.
So find out Anthony, creepy thin man, pays for this entire orphanage.
With his assassination money, eh?
He getting bread as an assassin, boy.
He's keeping up this orphanage.
That's so
single-handedly.
Sweet. That's so sweet.
Man,
and the reason why he was protecting Max is because he's a little boy that came from the orphanage that he came from.
You don't play about them, his kids,
That's
honey.
so sweet.
No, that is sweet.
Aww. He'll never say it, but he really loves those nuns who looked after him.
Yeah, he will never say it, but yes. I wonder how he got into the assassin game.
The assassin business.
Yeah.
So then, they ask, okay, so like, do you ever see him? And she's like, not really, except for the occasional haircut now and then. So she still gives him haircuts. I think that's really weird. And then she also reveals to them that this morning he left them a gift. And then they go outside to see the gift, and it is a gorgeous, like 1967 old-timey car. That is the car that was driven by Emmers, the man that the creepy thin man killed during the motorcycle race.
I love that he took his car.
I love that he took his car and gave it to the orphanage. This, he's so wrong for that. That's hilarious. Car has blood on his hand.
Yeah, it's blood money.
Yeah,
it is all blood money.
And you give it to an orphanage ran by nuns. Like, if they ever found that out, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Disgusted.
They'd be, like,
guess.
Anywho, so they get the information that they need. Before they leave, Natalie takes a look at the car. She sees that there's bird poo, so he does work for the O'Grady's then. Emmers.
Okay.
Because so Natalie, she sees the car.
Yeah.
She takes a look at it. There's bird poo on the car. She's like, oh, bird poo.
She loves birds.
She loves birds. She's like the bird aficionado of the group.
Uh-huh.
She takes rubs the bird poo on her fingers, sniffs it, and is able to determine where the bird comes from.
Yeah.
The bird comes from some part of California.
The San Pedro Harbor.
San Pedro Harbor, this bird resides. San Pedro Harbor is where the O'Grady...
That's where they hang out. That's where they do their business.
That's their headquarters.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
So I guess that was Emmer's car, so he must work for the O'Grady's.
I like that. That tracks.
There we go.
I believe so.
So, from the bird poo, they're able to determine where the bird poo came from. That is not enough information. He could have been driving anywhere, and a bird could have shit on his car.
Right.
But anyhow.
Fresh poop? I don't know.
From the bird poo, they're able to determine where the bird poo came from. It came from this harbor. The harbor is where the O'Grady crime family's, crime rink is.
Yes.
So now they're heading there.
But before we see that, back at Alex's house, Jason makes a stop by to clean. I'm not really sure.
Why? If y'all are broken up, why do you have access to her
niggas?
They're on a break, and
I
he's like
know.
in her house cleaning.
He's pushing his boundaries.
I want a man that dedicated to me.
Yeah, he's like, I hear you, but I'm going to try harder now. Because he showed up to the moving day, not supposed to be there. He's at our house cleaning, not supposed to be there.
Right. Why'd she break up with him anyway?
Right. We're on a break.
Did she break up with him on the first one?
No. I don't think so. No, she was at his trailer doing her thing.
So he's in the house cleaning, listening to music. But
everybody's working for the weekend.
But her father is there as well. Unbeknownst to him, he didn't know that Jason would be there. And so he sees Jason. He's like, who the hell are you? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm Jason, whatever his last name is. He's like,
kidding.
Okay. And he's like, movie actor? And then the dad's like, uh-huh. And he's like, Extreme Fight 2? Have you seen it? I'm in it. And then the dad's like, why are you here?
Yeah, get to it.
And then he's like, oh, I'm Alex's boyfriend. And then he's like, oh, boyfriend? I didn't know he had a boyfriend. And then Jason's like, listen, you must be a really understanding father. And he's like, oh, yeah, I am. And he's like, why am I understanding? And he's like, for what she does for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it was months until I figured out what Alex did. I thought she was a masseuse. It was ages until I found out about Charlie. And then the dad's like, who's Charlie? And then
basically the dad thinks that Alex is a sex worker.
He thinks by the words that Jason is alluding to,
secret,
it makes it seem like secret. She works for a man, late hours, long nights,
understanding,
costumes,
just like, well, what?
Outfits,
Sex
she
worker.
sounds like she's a professional hooker.
Yeah.
So
sex worker.
Now her father thinks that she's a hooker.
Yeah, sex worker.
And he's now stressed.
Yes.
A sex worker.
Yes.
A professional sex worker.
So girls are doing the next recon. This costume now is lumber work, not lumber. Like, when you work with high power tools.
Oh.
Heart and that kind of worker.
The thing where they wear those masks.
Yeah.
And you spray the stuff and then you gotta wear the mask so the fire doesn't hit you.
Fire stuff. They're like working on the side of a big ass boat, I think. And they're basically doing a recon. They're at an angle that they can see this place called the treasure chest. Is that what it's called?
They can see
or the
harbor.
Yeah, the harbor
that the O'Grady's work at.
Yes.
And they do their bidding.
They're
Also, on location of the harbor, I guess they have a club, a bar.
The treasure chest.
Called the Treasure Chest. And they're just, they're doing their recon. One of the guys that they see, they notice that it's high security, badges to get in, fingerprints, all this stuff, name IDs, plates, all this stuff.
All the jazz.
So they say the best way for them to enter is via cargo. They got to pretend like they're cargo or something like that. And then they see one of the workers enter the treasure chest. And they're going to use that same worker who entered the treasure chest. They're going to try to get his credentials so they can use it to enter the harbor.
Yes. So now they are going undercover as dancers. It's not a sex.
It's giving the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
That's all. I wouldn't be surprised
giving Pussycat Dolls
if members of the Pussycat Dolls
were in the background
there. This scene.
Yeah. It's like cabaret.
Yeah, it's like cabaret.
That's what they're doing. They're dancing.
So yeah, they're not undercover as cabaret dancers at the treasure chest that night.
Yes. So they're doing their dance. They are making money. Natalie
making money.
Has her.
They're not stripping.
They're not stripping. Natalie has her scene because she always got to have an extra.
She always has
scene,
the sexy scenes.
To distract everyone while Dylan and Alex, they sneak up to the guy whose credentials they want to steal. They take his badge. They take a picture.
They take his papers.
His papers, and they sneak on out of there. Later that night, with the help
of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Later that night, with the help of Bosley, who goes undercover as a black Irish man,
Paddy O'Malley.
Paddy O'Malley.
Top of the morning to you.
You just don't look much like any Paddy I've ever seen before.
Man, you ain't never heard of no black Irish.
Black Irish?
That's right. Who you think invented the Mac Rib? Lucky Charms? Huh? Shamrock Shake? That's ours.
Give me your papers.
What?
Your papers.
Let me tell you something. You got a whole bunch of nerve to ask me about my doggone papers. My family suffered, man, for lack of potatoes, foot and mouth disease, canker sores, circumcision.
Circumcision?
That's right. My wife just had a set of twins, man. They both leprechauns.
Leprechaun.
Get a whip. Irish Spring. and you don't believe that, you can wipe your ass with a 4-leaf clover.
I would like to point out that the guy who he's having the conversation with,
He's in some stuff.
he is an actor. I think he's so hot.
Okay.
His accent is doing everything for me. He has this like scar on his face, and I'm like, ugh, how'd you get
know
that
what?
scar?
He always plays a
Sexy.
bad guy, so I think he's scary. But I get it.
Yeah,
She's like, yeah.
he's hot.
Who are you, Dylan?
He's so hot. I'm like,
He's
oh my
like scary.
gosh. I think it's the accent.
Yeah.
And then I googled him. He's not even Irish. He's Scottish.
Like the same fucking thing. Just
We're
kidding.
not getting an authentic Irish accent
Right.
here.
Scottish and Irish. That's funny.
I was upset.
I thought you were gonna say like he's American.
No,
He's
he's
like
Scottish.
I was like,
They're not the same thing.
they're not. No, they're not. But like
They're not.
Peach. I don't know. It's just like
It's like you're trying to.
they're like close enough.
You're being right. Good enough.
Close
Anywho.
enough.
So yeah, Bernie is using the credentials that the girls were able to steal, and he is pretending to be a Black Irish, and the girls are in the cargo ship that he is delivering, and it's like a statue of like
Yes.
3 women.
Yes, some like Greek goddess type
Yeah.
vibes.
And
then
so they let him in. I don't know how, but they let him in.
got the stuff.
And then the girls, they do their thing. They break out. Break out.
They're naked. They find clothes. They put their clothes on, and they start to look for the rings. So they enter some
Give us the
area, and they find this. They find this tray of silver rings, and they do this science experiment where they're like the titanium rings.
They're
are gonna
like
float.
these rings are made of silver. The halo rings are made of titanium. If the rings float, then those are the halo rings that we're looking for.
Yeah,
And they like explain. I hate
the way they explain. it.
like it's just like because we have to know what's going on, so they're
Yeah.
sitting there and explaining it to us, and I'm like,
Right.
okay.
So the 2 halo rings, they float to the top. They take their rings. They think they're like, great, we're done, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But little do they know that someone is one step ahead of them. They've been set up.
Oh, have they?
I don't know. I feel like he was waiting for them.
I think he just. I mean, they're in. I just think he. I mean, this is his place of business, so it's just like.
Yeah, I feel like.
Or maybe.
No, I mean the whole
Maybe
plan.
they let Bosley in. They must have known something was up when Bosley
Yeah.
came. They're like, we don't have Black people here. We're Irish.
Well, that was the whole plan. It's for Dylan to come to them.
Oh, I guess so. You're right.
So it was just like, I knew
Maybe
y'all were
so.
coming.
So anywho, they're caught by Seamus, Dylan's ex, who's been in prison for 8 years,
Seamus
and he goes on this
O'Grady.
long monologue.
It's been 8 years.
And he's like, leaving already, Helen.
It's been 8 years, 7 days, 34 masturbations, 50 showers, and one time I farted on this guy.
That's 8 years. He's been waiting for her.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're leaving already? And then he's like, give me back the rings. And then she's like, no. And then he says, give us the rings again.
Give us the rings.
I don't know why, but she like actually does it.
I think she's honestly terrified
Scared
of him.
of him.
She like looks like, oh my god.
Like she literally like gives him back.
Yeah. You don't think like he used to beat the shit out of her,
Right.
but like he just like he killed that one guy and she's in prison. I mean, she's seen worse. I don't know. She's a spy. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why
Honestly,
she's so scared
just like
of him.
watching her, I don't know. I mean, after she's going, Seamus, I love you. I honestly thought she would have been down. Like if she would have killed somebody in front of her, I thought she would have been
Yeah,
like, okay.
she was doing a lot.
I'm surprised she turned him in.
Right.
Anywho, so
Give us the rings.
He's like, give us the rings, and she gives him the rings, and then Natalie's like, we're just gonna be taking those back in like 48 seconds.
So don't
So then his henchmen come out. They come out with like bats and like crowbars,
Chains.
like a rope and chains. I'm
Yeah.
like, where are the guns? Like, why are y'all coming out here with bats and
Do
chains?
they have guns?
One of them eventually pulls out a gun, but as they're all entering in slow motion, they all have like chains and barbed wire in their hands.
It is funny that their thing is like the Charlie's Angels. They don't use guns.
Fun fact, I read why they don't use guns, the girls, is because Drew Barrymore, who's a producer on the film, she's very anti-gun. She's, gun reform.
Okay.
So she's
I mean,
like-
I kind of like the twist
but
that they don't use
Madison
guns.
uses guns, so I'm just like...
She's a bad guy.
I guess, but...
She's the bad guy.
I'm just
But
like,
I
if you're
kinda-
gonna X guns, just X them out of the whole movie.
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of like the fact that they don't. use
Yeah, I do
guns.
like the fact that they don't use guns. I never noticed it until...
Until this one.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they really don't use
Use guns, right? That's their thing.
So yeah, the henchmen come out, and it's like 15 against 3, and
Fight off.
I don't know what they do, but somehow they turn the lights off.
Yeah. Alex kicks something and it hits the breakers or whatnot.
And so now it's pitch black in there; they can't see. And then they're like, "Oh my god, turn on the lights!" They're like freaking out. The henchmen are like, "Seamus, turn the lights back on!" Seamus turns the lights back on, and then
it's like, fine, okay.
and then now the fight ensues. The battle.
Yes.
They're fighting. Alex and Natalie are fighting the henchmen. Dylan's fighting Seamus. He's like, I never wanted you more. She's like, always wanting what you can't have. And eventually the girls try to make a run for it.
Yeah. But they get the rings back.
They get the rings back, of course. Before they get the rings, then they make their way out of there. Somehow, they jump on a rope. They go upside down, and then they like propel through the ceiling.
I think it's my favorite.
I
think it's my favorite.
I think it's my most favorite far-fetched action scene of this whole film, because that didn't make any sense. They all hop on the rope, then they go upside down on the rope. Through the force of them traveling up the rope, they propel through the ceiling. Then the ceiling's made out of wood or something.
They kick it.
They get the wood fragments.
Oh my god, yes. No, that's the word.
They grab the wood fragments, they put it underneath their feet like surfboards, and then they scale down the building.
No, yeah, that was ridiculous.
I was like, what the hell?
Like, what the hell? No, that was ridiculous. I was like, okay, guys.
I was like,
now this one is too much.
This is a bit ridiculous here.
Did y'all have to surfboard down a wire, a rope?
But you know what? I loved every minute of it, too.
Eat it up.
And then so they make a run for it. And then what I must say is they're so in sync. It's just like, why did they all know to turn upside down and bust through the roof? And then so as they're making a run for it, then I was like, how do they all know to do this? So then Natalie turns on this, she like, what's this thing called?
A hose. Fire hose.
Yeah, like the hose to some pipe that has gas in it.
Yeah.
But then Alex knows to grab the hose and spray the harbor alley, while Dylan knows to pull out her lighter and like throw it in the air. None of them communicate this to each other. They just all know to do it. And they set the alley on fire to just not distract or
to get away
or hold off the henchmen.
Yeah.
So now the alley's on fire. They have time to escape, and the henchmen can't run through the fiery alley. But Seamus does.
Yes. So Alex and Natalie get away. Dylan falls
dramatically.
Yeah, and she looks back, and Seamus is right there, and he's like, "I will kill you. I will kill everything you love." And I can't wait.
He's like, "I'm gonna kill your friends first, and I'm gonna make sure you hear their screams and cries.
I'm gonna kill everything you love.
Then I'm gonna kill you.
And I'm gonna kill you."
And she took that one to heart.
She don't like it.
She's
shaken,
scared, shooken up, frightened,
give me back the rings,
startled. So
she catches up with Natalie and Alex, and they take off with the rings.
And then Natalie, they all hop in this boat. And then Natalie's like, I got the rings. She looks at Dylan. She's like, are you okay? And then Dylan's like, yeah, I'm fine. Let's get out of here.
Let's go. So after a crazy night, the night continues for Natalie. She attends Pete's high school reunion. One of the important parts of the scene is she has to pee. She goes into the men's bathroom because the women's bathroom was locked for whatever reason. She's peeing. She overhears two guys come in, and she overhears them telling each other.
They're Pete's classmates. One of which is entirely too old to be Pete's classmate.
Yes.
He's like 50.
I hate that they're wearing their Letterman jacket. It grosses me out.
Losers.
But she overhears them talking about Pete and saying that basically it was implying that he might propose.
And he's like, I can't believe he's going to do this. He has no idea what he's getting into, how big of a responsibility this is.
Yes,
it sounds like he might be proposing. Meanwhile, Natalie, is listening to all of this.
And she's freaking out. She doesn't like it. What's it get? She goes out to the dance floor. Pete is like, hey, I have something really important to ask you. And she's like, what is it? Before he can ask such question, she falls.
She's like, spin me before you ask. And so he spins her. She gets wrapped up in all these balloons.
And she breaks out to dance.
And then she falls. And then she gets up and she breaks out into a dance. They always give her a dance number.
I like it. I do like her dance. That's her thing. She likes to dance.
She's a dancer, baby.
Oh.
She doesn't do bad.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Like when they did the Hammer Time thing.
That was good.
I was like, she looks the best at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like her feet were doing. She was doing a little shuck and jive.
She's so tall.
Yeah.
A little awkward.
I
but-
read that the Dylan and Alex had to wear heels so they could
match her. That would make
so they
sense.
could fit in the frame.
Right.
Because she's so damn tall.
She is so damn
I
tall.
wonder how tall she is.
But anywho, after she does this dance, she's like, "Did you have a question, Pete?"
She's like, "So what did you want to ask me, Pete?" And he's like, "I'll save it for another time." I'd like to point out that his high school reunion was at Rydell High.
Was it really?
Do you know what Rydell High is from?
Yeah, Grease.
Oh, look at you. Yeah.
I birthed you, Grease. I don't know. We probably watched it at the same time. You don't think I know Rydell High?
I didn't think you were gonna understand. I'm not
The
gonna
disrespect.
lie.
I'm honestly
not gonna lie.
disrespected. That's crazy. So, Alex that night, she returns home to find her boyfriend talking to her dad. And
Still making it sound like she's a sex worker.
And she overhears them talking. And Jason's basically like, "Yeah, I told your dad what you do for a living." Having not told him what she does for a living at all. Somehow he's just gone around. I guess Jason thought the dad knew. So I guess he didn't think he was
talking about Charlie.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
he didn't think he had to explain it because he thought he already knew. Because I was like, he didn't tell him anything. But
And then Alex thinking that Jason did a good enough job and
he's not an idiot.
her father of what she actually does.
Mhm.
So she was like, "Oh my God, Daddy, I always wanted to tell you, but I was just so scared." And then she's like, "Me, Natalie, and Dylan are a team." And she said, "Tonight we just took out 12 sailors." And then he looks mortified. And then she's like, "I've always wanted to tell you." And she was like, "I wish you could see us in action, and I wish you could see us work." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then she's like, "But I'm going to go take a shower because I'm probably covered in God knows what. And then once I get back, I'm going to give you a full blow by blow."
She gives him a kiss on the
and
lips.
she kisses him on the lips.
She runs off.
And he's probably like, "Oh my God. Who knows what's on this girl's mouth?" And then she runs off. And he is even more mortified than what he was
But he's still
before.
trying to be supportive.
He is. He's doing
He's like, okay.
a decent job. He really is of trying to accept all of this.
Yes. But Dylan, on the other hand, on this night is all alone. And we see her at Charlie's office, or the office. And she is walking around like she's, never going to see this place again.
She's all sad.
She's all sad. And we see that she leaves a box behind with all her belongings. Inside is a note. And we basically understand that she's going to run off.
She's leaving the agency.
And then the next morning, when Natalie, Bosley, and Alex find the box and the letter, they realize that she has left. And in the letter, she basically says that she fled to protect them, which is stupid.
They're basically like, they turn to Charlie and they're like, "What do we do?" And he's like, "Well, you still got to do your job."
Yes.
Basically. He's like, "But look, don't stress about it. Like, I'm still paying you."
Yeah.
Like,
You're sorry.
so we still have, a job to do
Right.
here.
So, to get back on track on their schedule, Natalie asks Charlie, like, how did O'Grady get out of jail so soon? Like, it's only been 8 years. He murdered someone.
Who helped him escape?
No, he was released. But, who? Yeah.
She was like, "How did he escape?"
Okay,
and then
yes.
Charlie's like, "Well, he didn't escape. He was released."
It's crazy, because 8 years, murder? It does happen, but point blank murder? Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So then they
Who has that
kind
kind
of
of power?
who's got that kind of pool?
And
Like
then
the FBI,
yeah,
Justice
and then
Department.
Alice is like, the FBI, the Justice Department, the U.S. government, somebody.
We don't know. We don't know who it is.
Then, after they say this, they're like, "Who could it be?"
Who could it be?
Then, if you guys remember, Ray Carter, who is
U.S. Marshal.
the U.S. Marshal, comes in to pick up the rings.
Yes.
And he's like, "Hey, thanks for the rings." Bosley gives him the rings. And he's like, "I hope to work with you ladies again in the future, but hopefully not too soon." And then as he's making his way to the door, Bosley's like, "Oh, wait, you forgot your keys." He throws him the keys. He catches them. He lifts his arm up in the air and catches them in the air with his arm. And then this sets off a red flag immediately for Natalie and Alex, because what we failed to mention at the beginning of the film, when Natalie was grabbing Ray Carter to escape, he lifted up his arm and instantly yelped out in pain because his ribs were broken and fractured. And then so Natalie and Alex were like, that's a pretty good catch for someone who has like 4 fractured ribs. And so they soon realized that he, in fact, is nothing wrong with his ribs.
You're a liar.
He's a liar.
One.
He's a fake.
First question. If y'all went through hell in a handbag to get those rings back, why would you just give it to some guy to put in his car? Like, there should be security detail.
Oh, yeah.
One, you can't wear the rings anymore. That's done. You don't own the rings.
All right.
Like, they already know about you.
Yeah, someone else needs to wear the rings.
Yeah, you can't wear the rings. And we need to have security at all points.
That's so true.
2.
Why you came up here by yourself with just a briefcase to pick up the
Yes,
rings?
he's like, okay,
where the bodyguards at?
Where the bodyguards at? 2, you didn't have to, he didn't have to lie about the whole rib thing. They didn't have to break your ribs. Like,
right, you did.
If you were going to make this lie up and forget about it, why would you do that?
Right.
Stupid.
Idiot.
But yes, the girls are on to frickin' Carter. So after this, they had costumes, they had things.
They follow him.
They follow him, and they got the shit.
They follow him immediately. Once again, Alex is doing all the work. Natalie's just like driving the car. So
In a cute outfit.
Carter is like in this like convertible Porsche. Natalie's following him in like another drop top convertible, and she has like this brunette wig on.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Alex is on this freaking
Like speed
scooter,
Speed
this, like,
racer.
speed race scooter where she's laying flat on her back and she's like zooming. What's like that movie with like it's like a bobsled
Yeah, but
without
it's
like the cover.
like a bobsled, but for one person you lay down.
Yeah, and she's like literally laying on her back in the street, racing, trying to catch up with this man.
Yes.
So Carter's driving. Natalie's on this like makeshift bobsled scooter thing, laying on her back, doing all the work, catching up with Carter. She hooks her mechanism bobsled onto his car, and she's listening to his conversation.
Yeah, she taps his phone line.
She taps his phone.
His car.
Oh, good.
So we see first he calls a mysterious person that they've been talking to. He's been talking this whole time. And he's basically tells her or them that the angels are off their case and that he has the rings. And then he calls all the potential buyers of Halo. And he says, meet me at 8 p.m. And then he tells them, follow the stars beyond the galaxy. Take shore to hope. Stop at a stair. Find a man with a map. Sir, if you don't just tell me where the fuck I need to meet you.
What time, what place, and what are the directions to get in the building? Like, what is this? A riddle here.
This is not Clue. I am a mobster.
I am a trained murderer.
Yes.
I don't have time for your little riddles and your little reindeer games.
I'm not the brains guy.
Right.
I have a gun.
I don't have time to decode this riddle. Where do I need to go to buy this list?
I'd be like, whatever fucking name is, Carter. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Okay, so after that, we cut to Dylan. We see her crossing the border into Mexico. I just like to point out, like, as a spy, you want to get away, you go to Mexico.
What's wrong with Mexico?
I would go to Mexico. Me, Jordan, a civilian. I need to get away. I go to Mexico. You're a spy. Go to, like, I don't know. Like, you can't.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, you can't be more like, that's the most obvious place to go.
It's close.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I don't
Well, maybe she didn't want to go too far because she knew in her heart she was gonna want to go back.
I want to go far. I don't want to get caught, but I don't feel like traveling. Okay. But she's crossing the border into Mexico. She goes into a bar. She's very down, and we can tell that she is down and sad.
Because this man slaps her ass, and she does absolutely nothing
She just sighs. She's
about
like,
it. The real Dylan would beat his ass.
Yeah, she would have karate chopped his bootay.
So she sits down at the bar. She asks for a drink. The bartender pours her a drink. And who do we see? Lo and behold,
An angel.
she is met by, Mom made a really good point. Mom, because I was watching the movie last night, and Mom was watching it with me, and I was like, shut up. And she's got a comment for everything. I'm like, I can't focus when you're talking.
I need you to, like, shut up.
And then so, when, who even was it?
Her real name or her?
Both.
Kelly Garrett.
That was her name on the show. Jacqueline Smith.
Carrie Garrett.
As Carrie
Garrett.
Jacqueline Smith as Kelly Garrett, one of the original angels.
Yes.
Sits next down to Dylan. And Mom was like, oh my God, not she's talking to ghosts. And I was like, she's not a ghost.
She is.
And I was like, wait, is she a ghost?
It's like a spiritual.
Is she a ghost? I never.
She's not really there.
She's not?
I don't think so. To me, it's like with the sun.
I mean,
on
yeah,
her
the
hand.
sun, I just thought it was just like
She's not really there.
I thought she was.
I don't think she was.
Does her character die or something then?
No, I think it's just like a spiritual. I think she's had like a spiritual conversation.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like the way the sun is on, like
The way the
sunset.
light is beaming, it does give like the angel.
And then
look
like
it.
when she leaves,
But
she
I
looks,
thought it was just doing that because she's an angel. Charlie's. That's what
I think
thought
we're
it
just like she's not really there. Like she's, and then like when she looks at the magazine, is that not her on the magazine?
I don't know. I think the magazine said something about something that gave Madison away, but I never read it. I want to say that
Something that gave Madison. Oh,
It
something.
said like the magazine.
But yes,
This shit sucks. I hate
Dylan sits down at a bar, and it's up for interpretation, but she talks with Kelly Garrett, which is one of the original angels, and they're basically talking about Dylan's, want to get away so she doesn't hurt her friends, and
Don't you have a case to solve?
Well, I tried to outrun my past, but it caught up with me yesterday. And I put my friends in danger.
You're in more danger now without you.
Natalie and Alex are going to replace me with someone great. A real angel. Not someone who's pretending to be something she's not.
Your past is what makes you who you are, Dylan. Don't forget that Charlie chose you for a reason. Angels are like diamonds. They can't be made, you have to find them. Each one is unique. Sometimes we search too hard for answers that are right in front of us.
but she basically convinces Dylan to rejoin her crew.
To go back to her girls.
To go back to her girls, she sees a magazine that we don't know how it proves that Madison is the one behind it, but it's something about
It's
astrology.
enough for
She's
Dylan
smart.
to figure it out.
Yes, and she's clearly got her groove back. We can tell because as she leaves the bar, the same guy from earlier once again smacks her on the ass, but this time she throws him into a jukebox.
Rendering him unconscious.
She's back, baby. Alex and Natalie are continuing to follow Carter. They find him at a building that he was going to meet up with his partner to exchange the rings, to be like, hey, we succeeded.
We did it, partner.
We did it. As he's talking to his partner, they pull out a gun
They shoot him to death.
and they shoot him on sight.
They
Gang,
kill him.
gang.
Bow, 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 bow.
And-
And they see all of this.
And his partner is revealed to be Madison Lee, a Charlie's Angels. The corruption, the deceit, the betrayal. It's not good. So she's revealing herself. She's like, hello, angels. How are you? I'm fine. I'm bad now. They're catching up, if you will. And then Dylan makes it back just in time to get a heap full of ass kicking, because they all get their ass kicked by Madison.
He's the only one who actually has a gun and is able to shoot them with a gun.
She has these big old gold guns.
Gorgeous gold guns.
And I guess back in her day she was saying they used to use guns all the time, but I guess now
Right. She does mention how in her day they use guns, and I guess in the current day they don't.
They just
Which
don't.
I feel like it would be reversed.
Right.
I feel like it would be like in her day they didn't use guns, and in your day they
Yeah,
do.
exactly. I agree.
But whatever.
But they're basically like, Madison, we knew not the whole time, but it had to be the last 15 minutes that you were behind this based
and
on.
they give the reasons behind it, which
It's like, who else could have
case
the
in point, it isn't enough.
Madison's like, yeah, I'm bad now, and she goes to shoot them, and
She's like, yeah, I'm evil. I don't like to work in teams. I wanted to work by myself. And this doesn't seem justifiable enough to turn evil, but I just feel like her whole thing was she didn't like working with other people.
yeah,
Which is fine, but like, is that a cause to murder?
She's like, you know what? I make good money here, but I can make even better money. Either.
She was just a selfish biatch.
Yes.
So she, they try to attack her, but she has her gold-plated guns, and she shoots all three of them.
Gang gang.
And they all, fly back onto the ground. And they're unconscious for a while. But Natalie, no, not Natalie. Madison leaves, I guess. But all three of them are wearing bulletproof vests.
Kevlar vest.
So
Shaped to the body. Honey.
none of them are dead.
Never dead. We cut to back at the Angels headquarters. Charlie's calling in and he's looking for the girls, but he's confused to hear Madison's voice. Hey, Madison, where
are my angels? But basically, Charlie, she tells him, where are my angels?
That impression was...
What? Where are my angels? I don't know. Only he's got that voice. I can't do it. But I guess she basically tells him what happened, and Charlie reprimands Madison for what she's done, and
he brings up a situation where, or I guess
probably her final
mission where she went, I don't know, rogue, or she did something that jeopardized the lives of her teammates.
Yeah.
And also almost killed her. And then when she was put in the hospital, they didn't know if she was going to make it. And I don't know if they fired her. Shit, they might have fired her.
Probably
let her go. After that was a wrap for her.
Yes. But Madison she tells him that she's angry that she's never got the recognition she deserved from Charlie, and she shoots his speaker box and goes about her freaking day.
And he said, before she shoots it, he's like, there must be some good in you still. And she turns to him, she points her little gold gun, and she says, I was never good. I was great.
I love how intense she is.
And she was like crying. What are you so butthurt about?
She's a
narcissist.
But she's pissed. Like, she's getting revenge. No one knew that was necessary. Like, we didn't know we did you wrong.
We didn't know you was that upset.
Yeah, exactly.
If you wanted to work by yourself, just say that.
If you wanted to, like, work in a different capacity as a Charlie's Angel, just say that.
That's fine.
We could have put you in a different division.
We could have done that.
Yeah, we could have put you in the Utica branch.
Yeah, the Utica division.
Not as much traffic, but you do stuff every now and again.
Not much action, but it's something.
It's something. So, cut back to the Angels. They're unconscious but alive. They survive their bullet wounds, and they wake up. And luckily, the Kevlar chest vests, did their thing, and they're walking back to the car. They're trying to come up with a plan of what to do next. And then after going through the whole riddle thing that they heard earlier from Carter, they realize that Madison is going to sell the rings that night to the major crime families, but she's going to sell it at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where Jason's film premiere is going to commence later that night. So I wrote down the fun families that are going to be there. So we're going to have the O'Grady crime family,
the Irish mob,
the Italian mafia, Antonian mafia.
Wait, where?
The Taikan Yaguzas.
Wait, and Toniani.
The Toniani mafia. The Yugiza. How you say it?
Tanaka.
Whatever. And the Diablo cartel. So got the Irish, the Italian, the Japanese, or some type of Asian, and the
Let's just say the Asian.
And the Spanish mafia.
Yeah. No blacks.
That's cool. Leave us out of this one. And so yes, it's going down tonight. Hollywood Walk of Fame also happens to coincide with Jason's film premiere of his second movie. What's it called?
It's Extreme something.
Extreme.
Metal
2.
extreme fight, something extreme.
Yeah, so as the night goes on, we see Madison getting ready for her big exchange. She's sitting by a computer screen, dressed in, like, fur. She says, Yahtzee!
She literally has no clothes on. She has on a bra, underwear, and then this big-ass fur coat.
Yes. And then she's watching as each of the crime families arrive, and they're handing over their money to, like, different people, and they're receiving the next hint of where to go to I guess actually receive the list. Honestly, if I was a crime family, like, no, I've given you money, now you give me the list. I don't go somewhere else.
Right. You know what I don't understand is, like, what was the plan? Because they were all supposed to meet her at the top of the roof, and then what? And then I guess she was gonna talk to all of them. I don't understand.
I guess she's so dramatic. I guess she wanted to talk to them. She's like, hello, I have brought you all here, women in power.
Right.
Here's a list.
If
email me
the O'Grady crime family, I'd be pissed. Because you already had it at one point, and now you got to go through all of this hoopla just to get it back again.
That's crazy. They probably didn't know how to open it. It seems kind of complicated.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. Can you just print it out for me? Thanks.
Anywho, this is where I get lost.
Okay, let's see.
Because I don't understand why they all go to one rooftop and then she goes to a completely
Okay,
different
so
rooftop.
when they gave over their money, she gave them the little matchbox. On it, it said the Roosevelt. That's the hint that you're supposed to go to the Roosevelt.
Oh,
But they were actually supposed to they were actually supposed to meet on the rooftop that she was on. They
Oh.
weren't supposed to go to the Roosevelt.
But the girls gave them
The girls gave them the thingy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yes. So as it's time for the big reveal, Madison heads up to the rooftop expecting to see all the different crime families. And then we see that the crime families have also made it to another rooftop. Madison is on her rooftop and she sees a telescope. She goes to it and she sees that the telescope is pointing at a different rooftop. She sees all the crime families and she sees them all getting arrested by the FBI. You've been got!
You're all under arrest for obstruction of justice.
Yeah. 10 of light, baby.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Ew.
Okay, so all the different mob families come up. The girls are disguised as different workers.
Yeah, and then that's when it's revealed.
They give them the wrong information. They send the mob families to a different theater rooftop where they are met by the FBI and they're all under arrest.
Yes. So Madison has been bamboozled, and then as she turns away, she sees that the angels are right behind her.
So she goes to a different rooftop.
Yes,
And she goes to a rooftop and they was petty for that. There was a telescope on there.
Yeah.
For her to look
Yeah.
and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Now her plane was being ruined.
Yes.
And how her mob friends are all getting arrested.
Yes. So she turns around. The angels are there. She's about to whip out her gun. She was like, okay, number 2. But the angels, they're on her. They got whips. They whip them out and they snatch her guns. You can't use your guns this time.
You can't use your guns today.
No, you can't.
No guns for you.
No,
You gotta fight us old school.
You old bitch.
How you like them apples?
So the girls are ready to kick her ass, but Madison reveals her plan B because we always got a plan B. She pulls out a what do you call it? She has like this button, and she reveals that she has put explosives all around the rooftop, and she's got the button in her hand. And she's like, if you step one more closer, basically, I will blow us up. And before they can all figure out what they want to do, Seamus and the O'Grady crime family bust in. O'Grady?
Yeah.
Crime family bust in, and he says, I recognize that ass anywhere you place it. I recognize that ass anywhere you place it. Because earlier, when he was entering the theater,
one of the bellhops, I don't know, elevator men, whatever, told them to go up to the VIP floor. And then that same man walks off. And as the elevator doors are closing, Seamus looks at the man's ass and he turns his head to the side in ponderment, confusion, and like, I don't know, that ass looked familiar.
Right.
Lo and behold, that was Dylan.
Yes, because I recognize that ass anyway.
That's a good man. That's the kind of man I want. Don't matter what I got on, he gonna know it's me. That's a good man, Savannah.
That's a good man, Savannah.
I like that.
That's funny. What's that from?
Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, I recognize that ass anyways. Okay, anywho. So they take off. There's fighting. They're fighting. They're dodging bullets. Who takes who? Dylan's obviously fighting Seamus. I think
Natalie's obviously fighting Madison. I don't know who Alex fighting.
She fighting everybody else.
She probably fighting the henchman.
So as they're fighting, the thin man comes to the angel's aid. He's helping Alex. He like stabs someone who's about to like get at her, and then he rescues Dylan when she's being attacked by O'Grady. Oh, he pushes him off the roof, and you think he's gone and dead forever. And then the thin man grabs Dylan. He begins to start to choke her, but then they end up sharing a kiss.
Then he rips out her hair.
Once again, she does the same to him. She rips out a piece of his hair, and she's like, I guess we smell it now. And they were like smelling it.
It was so weird. And like she's like low-key into it. And then he's about to talk, because remember, he's a mute. And then she's like, oh my God, say something. And then right before he says something, Seamus pops back up.
Damn you, Seamus.
And does he stab him? Pushes him off the roof?
Yeah, he stabs him. Mm-hmm,
he stabs him, then pushes him off the roof. And then that's the end of the creepy thin man.
You thought
she had a little romance for all of 5 seconds.
I know. I was like, okay. this could work.
Girl, the most that man ever did for her was make her partially bald. She don't want him.
She was into him. She likes weird. She likes weird. She's like, I don't know if this will last, but I will be entertained.
So now it's a battle royale between Dylan and Seamus. Some kind of way she ends up on the ledge of the building, dangling, and he pulls out a lighter and he's like burning her fingers, and she's like, "Ow, my fingers! You're burning them."
Yeah, I'm trying to
live
here.
She is able to ricochet like her leg, or she kicks one of the light bulbs on the side of the building, which forces the glass to go into his eye,
blinding him,
and then he falls off the rooftop and he dies, which was very simple.
He's a simple man. I liked
wanted more from that. I was like, can y'all fight a little and then kill him? It was just like she just kicks the light bulb and then he dies.
I kind of like it because it's like this movie is about women. So it's like, yeah, he was a small, like, villain, but like the real villain is Madison, and we're here for the girls.
I think there should have been more.
I liked
between
it.
that fight scene. I didn't get enough from that.
He's not a fighter. He's not that good. He's just a man with braces who stopped having braces.
He's not bad.
And he's got an accent. And he looks like a member of Green Day or something. Yeah,
Blink 182. And I must say, I haven't said this yet. That hairline is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. His hairline is ridiculous.
It's because it goes too
literally,
far back.
The middle is like all the way down to his nose.
It's got a widow peak.
But it's awful.
Back, yeah.
It's horrible.
He's really handsome.
He is.
He's in
not that hairline.
Yeah, not the hairline.
The leftovers.
I don't think it gets. Yeah, the leftovers.
He was married to Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, interesting.
They dated for a really long time. Their marriage didn't last very long.
Oh.
They probably shouldn't have gotten married.
Oh well,
because they were dating for like forever.
Yeah.
Anywho, so Seamus is dead.
Bye.
Now it's time to kill Natalie.
Yes. So the girls regroup. Still on the roof. They're ready to take on Madison.
Oh, Madison. They're ready to kill Madison.
Yeah.
I said Natalie.
Oh, Natalie. Oh, yes. Don't kill Natalie. But once again, Madison still has those explosives, and the girls are like, okay, let's do this. And now you got me saying it. Madison pulls out the button. She hits the explosive button. She's got this costume on that, I don't know,
it makes her fly like a bat.
Yeah.
It looks like she has like a bat costume on.
She's got that thing on that Queen Latifah has on in
Holiday.
The last holiday.
She's like flying in the air like a bat.
Yes, it's ridiculous. So the girls also hop off the roof just in time, to not die from the explosive. But they grab onto like light strings and they Tarzan their way out of that situation. And they're basically
ridiculous scene that doesn't make
very
any
ridiculous. Sense. So they're basically right on Madison's
tail.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Then so Madison lands to the ground. She hops in her everybody has a convertible in this movie. So they hop in her little blue convertible, and Natalie hops in, and then the girls are right on her tail. They're all able to get in. Of course, Natalie's in the passenger seat, punching Madison in the face. And Madison is driving, and she drives up onto, I don't know, it's like a light. Like one of those like Hollywood strobe lights that they have like premiere nights. So she drives up on that, forcing
Alex
and Dylan off of the car, and they both land, which honestly should have utterly killed them.
Yes. Alex
without a doubt
goes through glass.
Alex goes through a glass building and lands on like mannequins, and I see her neck crack, so she should be dead. Dylan, I don't know, also goes through a building. Like, I don't know how they're not dead.
They should be dead.
And then so now it's just Madison and Natalie in the car. They ultimately run into the building of another theater. There's theaters everywhere.
It's Hollywood.
So they run into the wall of another theater. They're both propelled from the car. This is the only time we ever see anybody injured from the incidents that have occurred. Even though they should also be dead. Yeah. But now they're lying on the floor. Madison's shoulder's like out of place. Natalie has like glass in between her stomach. They're both bleeding from the mouth. And they slowly get up. They look at each other and they say, "This is it." And then Natalie goes, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
And then Madison goes, "Are you?" Because bitch, one of them is dying. They're like, this is it. One of us ain't walking out of here alive.
Right.
This is the end for one of us, baby.
Baby.
Brace yourself because one of us
Brace yourself, baby.
is dying.
We're gonna
One
die
of
here
us
tonight.
is dead.
Yes.
So it's very quick. It all happens very quick.
Yeah.
Natalie does a little kung fu move. And then somehow someone does a flip, Madison does a flip, Natalie does a kick. Who cares? Madison ends up with her gun in her hand and is now having the gun pointed at Natalie's head. So it looks like it's the end for Natalie.
Yeah.
And Madison says something like, "Oh, you're ready to die," blah, 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 blah. And then, no. Natalie says, "Who are you?"
Who you be?
Madison was like, "Bitch, look inward." Because you're me in a couple of years, like, basically. And then she's like, Natalie's like, no, Madison. The difference between me and you is I have friends. And then emerges
Friends.
Alex and Dylan.
The friends.
I don't even know how they got there that quickly. How they're not dead, but somehow they're there. So now,
Friendship.
I don't know. Natalie kicks Madison something. Madison's on the ground. The rings and the gun are up for grabs on the theater floor. And
Madison goes to they got Madison down. She goes to reach the gun to kill them, but Alex and Dylan, I don't know.
Yeah,
they karate chop her. They kick her into like let's see. They kick her into the floor, and it's like
theater.
Yeah, the theater, and it's like empty, the basement.
Yeah,
and it's filled with gas.
Why is there gas everywhere?
It's old. I don't know. It probably needs to be torn down. And why is there gas everywhere? And then Madison shoots her gun. She inadvertently blows herself up, and she's dead. And then the angels, they see the 2 halo rings, they pick them up, and they got what they came here for.
They
heard.
Seal the deal.
Seal the deal. So
and now
time to party.
They go to the premiere. They go to Jason's premiere.
Are they on cocaine? Because how do they have units?
Like, I need to go home.
These
y'all just were thrown through buildings. All 3 of you.
They about a party after
a mission.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you
Look,
can't stop
work
the fun
hard,
now.
play hard.
We outside.
So they all go to the premiere. Bosley's there. Max is there. Bosley's mom is there. Alex is in gold. Natalie's in black. Dylan's in white.
We learned that Bosley's mom is going to adopt Max, which is lovely. And he's
we do?
Yeah, he's going to be Max Bosley.
Aw, I didn't know that. That's so cute.
Max Bosley.
Where was I? I
where
was like, oh, this is the end. I don't need to watch it anymore.
Peter finally asks or tells Natalie the thing that he's been waiting to tell her. And it's actually a puppy, not marriage. He bought her a puppy.
Yes.
Dylan is relieved to hear this news that they're not getting married. She's like, oh God, a puppy. I was over here freaking out for nothing. And congratulations, you two.
Alex sees her father at the premiere, who again still thinks she's a sex worker.
Yeah.
Alex goes on to say, we had a really tough client. We ended up putting her on her back. And he's like, oh my. And then Jason pops out, and they rekindle their relationship. Alex says, we're back on, baby. The break is over. We're back together.
And that is the end of the Charlie's Angels. Everyone's happy. They're in love.
We have a fantastic ending to a fantastic film. Hurrah!
They should have done one more.
They should have done one more.
A trilogy, honey. Come on.
I mean,
who does 2?
Who just does 2?
You have to do at least one more one that could have possibly been shitty, but everyone loves.
I feel like this was the time in Hollywood when they just knew not to push it. Now, they'll in today's age they'll make 7, and still not give up, and all 7 could be awful, and they're like, let's go for 8.
Right.
But this, they're like, 120 mil budget. We only made 260.
3 female stars. They're like, we've already.
They was like, let's just end it. They knew. The third one would have been a gamble.
The third one would have been a gamble.
It would have been a gamble.
Yeah, because this could have been a third one, kind of.
What would have been the second one?
I don't know. But I feel like the last one is to be like, oh, we're going to break up. We actually stay together. I feel like it's a good third one. I don't know what the second
this
one
is like a close the chapter type ending.
we're still good.
Yeah.
And we're all in our relationships, but this is definitely a closing one. I don't know what number 2 would be.
They didn't really leave it open for a third.
Yeah, they didn't.
If they did, it would have to been. This came out in 2003. They would have to have done one, like another one in 2010.
Yeah.
They would have to waited many years.
Yeah, someone has to be dead.
No,
or retired.
No.
Or lost.
Something.
Who'd have been the third Bosley? I don't know. That'd have been fun to figure out.
Was Bernie Mac dead yet?
No, I kind of...
Maybe it would have been Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, but at this point, you have to do a third Bosley. You have to get a new Bosley every
just do a
film.
new Bosley every year. That's true.
But all right, guys.
Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to like,
rate,
subscribe, rate, review, follow, comment, even if it's a bad comment. There's
Follow
no
us
such thing.
pretty much everywhere as please don't spoil the movie or don't spoil the movie.
We love you.
We love
Thanks
you.
for
Good
tuning in with
night.
us. We'll catch you later.
Happy carnival season if you're heading out
Happy
there.
Mardi Gras.
Be
Happy
safe.
holidays. Everywhere
Bye.
else, it's just Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.